All right. What's good, neighborhood? You back in the lab with your favorite neighbor, your man Mark Nash. He is I am he. Another great episode of Breaking Beats. How y'all feel? What's the deal? Appreciate y'all. Thank you for your time, your energy. Thank you for the opportunity to entertain you all this evening. Hopefully you will be entertained. Let's get into it, man. Charlo versus Canelo. I'm sorry, Canelo versus Charlo, as the banner reads, goes down in a major way this weekend. Saturday, what is it, the 30th, right? Man, I got a theory on this fight, man. I don't think a lot of people are going to buy this fight. I'm just sorry. Put a case on it. We're going to talk about all of that and more in this episode. You might agree, you might disagree. We can talk about it. I'm always up for a good conversation. Because here's the deal, man. I don't know how many people were asking for this fight. Who was calling for this fight? And then $100, man, $84.99 plus tax, $100. It's an obvious mismatch, right? We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna do our pay-per-view predictions early this week. We're gonna do these pay-per-view predictions. It is fight week, ladies and gentlemen. Canelo versus Charlo. It's always good when you see one of those top guys come back into the ring, because Canelo is the top guy. And, seeing him fight twice a year, per usual, is pretty good. I remember last year around this time, he was like, hey, look, I need a break. I need some time off. Man, he was back in the ring in May. So he didn't really get that time off that he needed. He said, hey, look, I need some surgery. He had a lot of things going on. He said his performances haven't been well. What's up, Rider of the Storm? Salute. So I got a theory, and I'll break it down round for round when we start this episode up. So give me 5 minutes. Let's let this room get populated. But share this out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff. Let people know we live. And hopefully you'll do the same. We're going to open the phone lines up, and we're going to have a good conversation as well. It's your man Nash Breaking Beats. Let's get it.
This is my passion. This is what I love to do. But some days, sometimes, I'm just like you, man. I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. I'm just like you. Damn, I hate this job. Man, I hate this job. Man, I hate my job. From a good dream I wake, sun rays on my face, planning out my day, hoping this ain't the one that I catch a case. I feel so good, I feel so straight. My manager keep calling me saying, hurry up, you late. Hurry up, you lay off. Y'all, man, I hate this job. Man, I hate this job. Been trying to play it cool, but it's hard to play it off. I've been hanging on to this bullshit, cause my car still ain't paid off. I know I'm on my way up. My boy just got laid off, so y'all, man, I hate this job. Man, I hate this job. These hoes is so ratchet. These hoes is so sneaky. Y'all don't even really pay enough for y'all to only pay bi-weekly. I'm trying to double up my cash. Take this job, shove it up your ass. Yo, man, I hate this job. Sometimes I wanna say, walk in and slap my boss. This shit is getting hard. Damn, I hate this job. Gotta make it out of this struggle, bruh. And I don't really mean it. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. We're the reason why your stockholders always stay afloat. Yet I'm asking, are they hiring? Like everywhere I go, schedule will say 9, but I think it's fine if I clock in at 9:04. I work 40 hours a week plus overtime just to be bro. So y'all, man, I hate this job. Hate that I applied. So much has transpired since the day that I was high. Told me I could advance, but you were telling me lies. Gotta give your notice before I quit, but you don't say shit right before I'm fired. Damn, man, I hate this job. Sometimes I wanna say, walk in and slap my boss. This shit is getting hard. Damn, I hate this job. Gotta make it out of this struggle, bruh. And I don't really mean to take it out on you. You just a customer, but damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. You and your procedures. You and your protocol. You and your policies. None of that shit don't apply to me. You and your quotas.
You and your standards. You and your 2 sick days a year. Y'all niggas bananas. Wonder why the postman's posted with hammers. Going postal with Popo on camera. His wage got him enraged. Stressed out, it's hard to maintain. He flips the middle, grabs his. He said, if you don't get the picture, I quit. You ain't shit, mother. Man, I hate this job. Sometimes I wanna say, walk in and slap my boss. This shit is getting hard. Damn, I hate this job. Gotta make it out of this struggle, bro. And I don't really mean to take it out on you. You just a customer, but damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Look, man, I hate this job. I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like you. I'm out here trying to take care of my family. Damn, I hate this job. It's not always glamorous, for real. But I do what I gotta do for me and mine, you know? Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate this job. Damn, I hate my job. Damn, I hate this job. I'm just like you, nigga. Damn, I hate this job. Man, I hate this job. Man, I hate my job.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers, commentators, experts, and or the host. They do not explicitly nor necessarily reflect nor represent the channel's policy or the views held by the channel or broadcaster. The broadcaster or its channel cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during the program. Basically, if I didn't say it, don't come for me. You come for the person who said it. And please don't sue me for somebody else's words. With that said, let's start the show, motherfucker.
This that squad sound.
Yeah. What's good, neighborhood? What's popping? What's happening? What's going on? You back in the lab with your favorite neighbor, your man Mark Nash. He is I am he. Another great episode of Breaking Beats. How y'all feel? What's the deal? What up, though?
What do you mean by that?
How y'all feel, man?
What up, gangsta?
Hope this episode finds you guys in good spirits, good health, good prosperity. God knows we need it. All right. I'm going to do this neighbors only roll call, and I'm going to just jump right into the schmo. I know some of y'all are seeing the title and the thumbnails, and y'all are, they get triggered, boy.
I want to hear that.
Leave your feelings at home. All right? Unpack that. Unpack your feelings, man. Everything, you don't have to be so emotional and so invested. I see it. I see it already. I know people are upset, and that's okay. It's okay. Because let me be fair. Matter of fact, let me do this neighbors only roll call, and I'm going to just jump right into it. Because I have a theory. And you'll see why. You'll see why shortly. Because trust me, I do not want to see this thing flop. I want it to be a success. I need it to be a success. It behooves me and my bottom line.
What up?
But let's take it from the top. My boy T.Y. That's Ty DeSantis. T.Y. stay fly.
What up?
Big Hove, I thought I told you.
What up?
In Conquest, they do it the best.
What up?
I am Cam Edwards. And shout out to his boxing to you.
What up?
Deuce.
What up?
Is that Stephen Brimley? Unbiased fan Brim Reaper. What up, though?
What up, gangsta?
Mike James 616, he back in the mix. Johnny Goodman, what's up, man? Stone Tangerine, stay mean. Megazard. Shout out to my guy Megazard, got a dope album out called Diamonds Amongst Men. Check it out, streaming on all platforms.
What up, gangsta?
Ace Retro, let's go.
What up?
Ill Status Boxing.
What
Patricia Shelton.
What
That
up?
guy Eclipse 330 early.
What up?
Stephen Bateman all the way in Australia. Shout out to Melbourne and Sydney. Shout out to all of Australia. Exactly.
What up?
I know boxing.
What up?
Ricardo Johnson.
What up?
My boy AJ, he don't play.
What up?
Electro Jazz, they getting his bread.
What up?
Miguel Ramos
What up?
on the mic with Terence Bailey Sr.
What up?
The XO Factory.
What up?
Dub Right Side.
What up?
Mr. Golden State Holding, aka the Back End King.
What up?
Raheem the Dream Soto.
What up?
My boy LD, aka Like That.
What up?
And he just like that.
What up, gangsta?
Shout out to my sister Memory, aka Girl Behind the Mic.
What up?
Man, y'all killed it last night, man. I was listening to that playback today, man. Y'all killed that shit, man. Good job.
What up, gangsta?
John Nori came to tell his story.
What up?
Major Key Boxing, what's poppin'?
What up?
Cooking with the champ, aka Champion Heart.
What up?
On the floor with Shelton Moore,
What up?
SLG,
What up?
Sam F,
What up?
Kendall,
What up?
D-Lo 404 Boxing,
What up?
Karma Serene with the Serene Saturdays.
What up, gangsta?
Shout out to my sister Nikki in Central Florida, aka Nick Rich in this bitch.
What up? What up, gangsta?
Aaron Parker, the Big Talker.
What up?
Taylor Bill with TabTech, unlocksim.com. Unlock your next device today.
What up?
Transcendent Sports Channel, my Filipino brother from another all the way in Canada.
What up?
Shout out to Canada.
What up?
Fistiana Fights.
What up?
She just might.
What up?
Jacob Sims.
What up?
That's him.
What up?
Haplo, let's go.
What up?
DJ MFB, that's my boy Mike from Boston.
What up?
Shout out to Miss Queen Sun Kissed, and yes, she was kissed by the sun.
What up?
Beyond the Ring with Nonito and Rachel Donaire, that's 9-time champion Nonito, on his way to the Hall of Fame, and we're gonna walk with him and Rachel every step of the way.
What up, gangsta?
True Media Today, USA Boxing. This is my guy, Coach Malachi Williams. What up, Coach?
What up?
Puro.
What up?
Food Revolution, aka Foodie with the Beauty.
What up?
Badass Blonde. Let's get it.
What up?
KP from KC5.
What up?
My boy Matt Wade. Matt Wade got a dope single out right now called Papa Daddy, streaming on all platforms. Y'all check him out.
What up, gangsta?
Beyond Above Media.
What up?
Pittsburgh T.
What up?
SF City Slicker.
What up?
Rider of the Storm.
What up?
Here to There.
What up?
Maddie Yoel.
What up?
Cliff Bailey.
What up?
Con Shawndery.
What up?
Lisa Bell. She Never Fails.
What up, gangsta?
HLDZ.
What up?
Cooking with Sir Senior.
What up?
D Bevel the Champ.
What
And of
up?
course, the big fish himself, my good brother, Derek Lincoln.
What up, gangsta?
All right. What's poppin', man? What's poppin'? What's poppin', man? How y'all feel? What's the deal? I got an interview too. I need to do a reaction to. Leonard Ellaby is talking about this fight, this match between Canelo and Charlo. Now I got a theory, man, on this fight. I'm of the belief, and I could be wrong. I actually hope I'm wrong. I'm begging to be wrong on this. I don't know if a lot of fans are gonna buy this pay-per-view for $84.99, bro. I'm just saying, put a case on it, bro. There's not a lot of hype, a lot of buzz around this fight. Now, granted, Canelo brings a certain amount of fanfare wherever he goes because he is Canelo Alvarez. He has a large following. But I don't know if that large following is going to buy this pay-per-view. In a day and time where pay-per-view is so easily streamed, you got to fight like Crawford and what's the guy who got beat up? Spence. No, I'm joking. Crawford and Spence, which was a fight that was much anticipated. A lot of people was asking for this fight, clamoring for this fight. They didn't go buy it, you know? And granted, it did all right, you know, did very well. It was a success. By all accounts, 700,000 buys is a success, but I'm looking at these Canelo rider numbers, man. Now, I don't know if they're official. Make sure I got the phone number on the screen, too. I don't know how official these numbers are. But they're not good numbers, man. Like 150 to 200,000. So this is gonna be our pay-per-view prediction episode right now. I want to know what you guys think. How many buys y'all think this thing gonna do? How many buys y'all think Canelo and Charlo is gonna do? Shout out to Rider of the Storm. I see he said, "Yo, Mark, Shakur did an interview about 90 minutes ago. Did you catch it?" I did. That's why I was late getting started too. I watched it. Shout out to Mill City. I saw it. Some of that stuff a lot of that stuff I kind of heard him say already. But I think he was very clear about, hey, look, that guy who came out with that number isn't in my team. I met him one time. So I guess people got to stop bringing people on their shows talking about, yeah, he part of the team. Like, bro, I do not know this man. I met him one time, and it was high and by. He is not privy to my business. I'm glad Shakur cleared that up. But yeah, it was a decent interview. Shout out to Lisa Bells. Super Funk Master G said, I mean, fans bought Tank versus Rolly, laughing my ass off. Hey, look, they did, but a couple things with that. Rolly was talking trash. It was some hype going in that. People were talking. Shoot, Tank pushed him off the stage at the weigh-in. In fact, that fight was booked twice. People went and bought it the second time. And let's keep it a buck, too. That first fight, I think Rolly was the number one contender. They was in the same weight class. Rolly was talking some trash. What else? It's a lot of different things to go into that super Funk Master G. Another thing, here's the biggest thing. Tank Davis is a knockout artist. How many fights Tank had to go to the distance? 2, right? What's Tank Davis' box rate? How many people? I think he knocked out everybody except for like Pitbull Cruz and one other person. When you're a knockout artist like that, man, you blockbuster, man. People are gonna come out and see. Okay, 29 fights, 27 knockouts. People gonna come see you when you knocking guys out like that at a high ratio. So I get where you're coming from, but I think it's so many different elements that go into this fight. Like the coming up 2 divisions, the weight is gonna be an issue, right? But not just the weight. I don't even think the weight is as much as the issue as people think. It's the layoff, man. Charlo's had such a long layoff, and he's coming off an injury, right? So I don't think it's the same as Tank and Rolly. And like I said, Tank is a knockout artist. But $85 is it is a very expensive. It's a very expensive for a pay-per-view amount. That's $100, man, for a fight that you didn't even ask for. A guy coming off an injury, a layoff, and coming up 2 divisions. It makes people say, I don't know. I don't know if I want to spend this $100 on that. Especially when you got Showtime, you're going to be able to watch the fight next week, or it's going to be on YouTube a couple hours later, about an hour or so after the fight. Especially in a day and time where streaming is so easy for people to steal fights. You got to really be invested and want to support the sport to buy these things. Lisa Bell says she's doing great. How about you? I'm good, Lisa. I appreciate it. I grilled out today, man. I was on the grill today. Shout out to Jerry. I see Tech around in here. What's up, Tech? Is that Stephen Brimley? Shout out to Unbiased Fan Brim Reaper. Juice, what it do? Juice said it's gonna do 500,000. That'll be good. That'll be good. I saw a report that Canelo Ryder did what, 150, 200,000. Now, granted, it was a lot of people in the venue. Definitely selling out. I think they're definitely going to sell out the building. But tickets are still, those resale tickets are still on available. It's probably going to be like Spence and Crawford too, as the fight gets closer, the day of the fight. Those tickets that people were buying for like $300, then reselling for $700, drop right back down to about $300 and some change. Yeah. Somebody said Canelo Charlo does 600 and 700K as well. You think so? Book it. Let's book it. I'm gonna screenshot that. Trying to get these pay-per-view numbers, but 600, 700,000 buyers, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. I would consider that a success, right? When you consider that a success, who else got their predictions in here? Ryder said, Ryder of the Storm, not John Ryder. He said, I think we'll do 600K. I know personally about 8 people who are buying the fight. I know some people, he said, I know people who are excited about the fight. Hey, look, Canelo's one of those guys, man. He's one of those guys where you're happy to see him just back in the ring anyway, doing what he do, because he's an A-level talented. He is one of the elites. And I believe Charlo is the elite as well. I know some people aren't really big on Jermell Charlo, but I believe Jermell Charlo is definitely an elite fighter. I just think he has so much going against him. And not to mention, they're not really hyping the fight up. Now, what I will say, what I love about This All Access, I love how they doing the whole episode in Spanish, right? Got one version in English, then they dropped the whole episode in Spanish. I don't recall them doing that before. Anybody? Put a case on it. I don't recall them doing that for other fights. Next Generation Combat Sports TV. What up, fam? He said, what's good, Mark? Salute to you in the chat. Salute to you, sir. Brim Reaper said, we knew when this fight was made that the price was going to be the same. I agree. That don't mean we got to buy it, though, Brim. That don't mean people are going to buy it. I know a lot of people said they're going to be on Team Stream, man. Stream teaming. They said they're not getting no money from me. I heard people saying the same thing about Tank that they were saying about Canelo. I'm not buying any more of your events until you fight somebody that I want to see you fight. But even then, you know how the fans go. Fans were like, well, it took you too long, so I'm still not going to buy it. Yeah, Ryder, I believe you buy fights. I believe you buy fights. And I'm not, hey, look, and I'm not indicting anybody who's still in fights or doing whatever you do. I don't care at this point. I'm done on that soapbox, standing on that soapbox, telling people, hey, man, we got to support these fights. We got to support these events. I don't know. Lisa Bell said, I don't see huge promotion like Tank versus Ryan. Well, they did the coast to coast thing, but these guys aren't talking a lot. They're not talking a lot. Yeah, they're just not talking a lot. Tank and Ryan at least had some trash talk, you know? Tank and Rolly had some trash talk. Canelo and Charlo it's too friendly. It's too friendly for it to be like a marquee event. And I'm just disappointed that the promotion isn't bigger. Alden Johnson, he said, salute to me. Now salute to you, brother. What's popping with you? Next Generation Combat Sports TV said, if Canelo Ryder did 150 to 200K, Canelo and Charlo would be lucky to get 400K, but it'll probably do 275 to 300. I think you might be right around there. That's around the sweet spot I think is going to fall in at. Kyoto, what up? Drew said, did you see Caleb Plant on $1 million worth of game? When did it drop? No, I did not see it. I reacted to that this week then. Let me see. Caleb Plant. Okay, it was yesterday. Okay, so it's about an hour, so I'm gonna watch that tomorrow. I'll watch that tomorrow, and I'll make some notes on it if it's anything. Is it newsworthy? Any good shit in there? Any good things in there? I know he's gonna talk about the slap heard around the world. I know he got to talk about that. Let me see. Kyoto, what up? But yeah, like I said, I am hoping that it does very well. But I don't think this shit is gonna do 500,000. I'll be shocked. I damn sure don't think it's gonna do 1 million buys. I don't think it's gonna do 700,000, bro. I don't think it's gonna do Crawford. I don't think it's gonna do Spence and Crawford numbers. That's me. And this ain't hating. Like I said, I want it to be successful. It's in my best interest if boxing is successful, right? We talk a lot of boxing on this channel. But I don't see the promotion. I don't see the hype. I don't see a lot of fans excited about it. I don't know too many people who giving Charlo a shot. It's more like, and it's almost like people don't want to say it because they don't want to be wrong. I hear a lot of things. Well, Charlo. Don't sleep on Charlo. People like, don't sleep on Charlo, man. He could upset him. He got the tools. He got the skills. We'll talk about it. Let me take this first line. 1 second. Let me plug you in. 203, you're on the MIC. Tell them your name, where you from, family.
Man, Brim Reaper had to call New Haven, Connecticut. What's up, Mark? Holla at me.
What's poppin'? Talk to me, man.
All right. So this is a great topic of conversation, first and foremost. So I want to give you credit for you bringing this up. Now, few things. In regards to the Canelo Ryder, there was a report that it did between 175 and 200K. Now, Eddie Hearn did come out and combat that. He said it did pretty much double that. So there was another one that came out that did.
So instead of 150, it did 300.
It did between three. They said that another report said it did between 350 and 4.
Okay.
I think Canelo's natural drawing power. See, the thing is, that fight was in Mexico versus Ryder, right?
Correct.
This is going to be against Charlo, right? So, yes, granted, there's a reason why the buzz is not the same as Spence and Crawford, obviously. But you will see a shift when that weigh-in happens. You're going to see a shift. You'll see the energy change when they do when the weigh-ins happen. Now, I don't think it'll ever get to the point of the buzz that we would hope it to get to. But I think Canelo in the United States on a Showtime pay-per-view card is guaranteed $500K.
Say that again?
I think Canelo on a Showtime pay-per-view card is pretty much about a guaranteed $500K.
Really?
Yeah. Because of his natural core fan base. If John Ryder fought Canelo on Showtime pay-per-view, it would have did $400K.
So you think the
just
network,
because of what Canelo?
You think the network buy? Like, I'm confused. You think more people buying it because of the network?
Well, for the region, the area that we're in, it is playing a role. Like the Canelo fight against Ryder was a one-off. It was different than the other ones. That was in Mexico, so it was a little bit further drawn away from the American fan base.
Pay-per-view is pay-per-view, though.
This one is going to be right in our face.
That is
correct. You're right.
Where is that?
You are correct, but the fighter, I think it's all relative, though. You know, your point is 100% correct, but I think it's relative. I think it plays a role, and I just think this fight naturally on its own to Canelo's core supporters, they're going to come out harder for this one than they came out for Ryder. They're going to come out hard. They're going to show up more for this fight than they showed up for Ryder. The Mexican American fan base is going to show up for Canelo on this fight.
Well, they showed up.
That alone is going.
Now they showed up and showed out last time. The Mexican fan base, they show up for Canelo all the time. It's the extras, though. You know that I think over 14 million people watched that fight in Mexico.
Yeah. See,
but it was
again,
free.
that was in Mexico. Again, that was in Mexico, so it's different. So if I was going to use a comparison for a Canelo fight, I'm gonna use his PBC fights.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna use his PBC fight.
No. He's the same everywhere, bro. He fight. Why do you think you think they do better promotion than the zone? Is what you're saying?
For the United States. United States.
And the zone doesn't do good promotion in the United States?
I'm not gonna say they do good. No, I'm not saying that they don't do good promotion. It's just that Showtime, PBC, they are a more known commodity within the United States than the zone is. Now that the zone has done their work and built themselves up to have the identity that they have now, but just when we go past us, because we're deeper in it. But when we go to like my sister Diggy, if I mentioned the zone to her, she's like, who? I mentioned Showtime PBC, she gonna know what I'm talking about.
For sure.
And then you got the Black American fans. Then the Black American fans will show up in some regard to Charlo.
Never.
There's people that hate Canelo, bro. Some of them gonna show up just to see if he can lose. Some of the people that hate Canelo is gonna show up too. I'm not saying this like this gonna do some astronomical numbers, but I think the floor is 400,000, bro. I think that's the floor.
People don't buy Charlo anyway, though. You got a guy who couldn't fill up fill up the arena in Carson for undisputed.
You're right, but he's fighting Canelo. But he's fighting Canelo. There's going to be people that wouldn't necessarily buy a Canelo fight, that rock with Charlo, that will pay for this fight just to hope to see Canelo lose. You're going to get Canelo's core base, and you're going to get the haters, the people that hate Canelo. They will show up and buy this fight. They will. They will. Now, it ain't going to be, listen, these numbers are not going to be out of the world. We're not going to be like, oh, shit, he sold 900K. No, they ain't doing all that. But I think 400's the floor, 700's the ceiling.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
But we gonna know if it goes under 4, then we gonna know Canelo's name value is now starting to deteriorate.
Because here's the thing,
And
like,
then the next person,
I think the price too, man. Like Canelo Ryder was $54.99. The Bivol fight was $54.99. They throwing, bro. They adding a premium of $30 on top of this. Canelo's last few pay-per-views have been $55. That's that, and people won't buy it. But people won't even buying that like that. And it was $55.
You said they wasn't buying it like that?
No, I mean, what you say it was a 150, 150 to 200. Then we got another report later. Then we got another report later. Then another report came out and said, okay, it was double that. Okay.
All right, but are we comparing Ryder to Charlo? With Ryder with no belts, Charlo with belts. There's
Charlo
more
ain't got no
meaning to this
belts.
fight
Charlo ain't got no belts. He ain't fighting for no belt. I mean, he ain't putting up no belt. They fighting for Canelo.
He's not putting no belts on the line, but he's coming in with belts, so he has more
at
cachet
two
going
divisions
into the fight.
lighter. 2 divisions lighter.
Yeah, that's true, but the fact of the matter is he's a champion. This fight has more value than the John Ryder fight, just off rip. Off rip, it has more value than the John Ryder fight, so it's going to do better numbers than that just because it has more value. And then the undercard is a good undercard too.
Bro,
Don't forget the undercard is good.
That Triple G fight did 500,000, and that's Triple G.
But the problem is,
hold on, let me finish.
Yeah, but
let me say this. Let me say
okay,
this real quick. If that Triple G fight, and they called that disappointing, it did anywhere between 500,000, right, and 575. Didn't crack 6. And people wanted to see that. People thought Triple G. I'm telling you. Let me finish. Some people think Triple G won the first 2 fights. Some people think he won. People were mad that the fight happened so late, and it was people thought he had won the first 2 fights, and they was mad he had to come up and wait. So if that fight did 500,000 with a proven guy like Triple G, you know. I'm just saying, man.
Don't say Charlo's not proven. You said a proven guy with Triple G like Charlo's not proven.
As in proven on pay-per-view, bro. Triple G did good with Canelo on pay-per-view the first time. They did good.
That's correct. Now, here's my little pushback. You made a statement that people wanted to see this third fight, and people felt like people felt like the Triple G won the first 2 fights. The problem with that is it's a minority in comparison. It was a minority of people who wanted to see this third fight at the time that it happened, in comparison to people who wanted to see it at the time that it happened. It lost its luster when that fight happened. So a third fight with a fading Triple G, with less buzz, people saying, I really don't want this. I mean, that's cool, but and it still almost did 600K, and we was not that interested about it. When that fight was coming up, what was our? We was like, and it still did over 500K, and we were. Now you were right. There are some people that believe that, but that's a minority. That's not the majority, bro. That's the minority.
I agree. That's why it did 500,000 though, with somebody who they
it did 500,000 for a fight that people didn't really want to see that bad.
No. I mean, it did. I disagree with you on that. Like that's your opinion, and your opinion is yours. But people thought he won. People thought he won that fight the first time.
But what I'm saying is that third fight, by the time it happened, when it was announced, regardless of what happened to the other 2 fights, the luster was lost. More people was than they were. Woo, we getting the third fight, yeah. More people was like, oh, okay.
Maybe that's the circles you run in, but I believe part of that reason is Canelo had just lost too. He was coming off a Bivol loss.
A combination of
that matters.
Yes, that's true. So Canelo coming off a loss, Triple G being 106 years old in boxing years, and then the fight happening too late. Those 3 factors took luster. That cost him 200,000 buys off rip probably, because it didn't have the same oomph to it. Again, those 3 things I just stated are true factors, and I think more people than not felt the way that I felt about the third fight. It was more like, okay, we'll see, we'll watch, but I'm not running to go pay for it. You know, at this point, this fight's happening late. It's like, that's cool.
Hold on one second. Tone Deaf, the co-main event is hold on one second. Tone Deaf, the co-main is Jesus Ramos Jr. versus Erickson Lubin. Right, that's your co-main event. Damn. And I ain't mad at that fight. I think that's a good fight. I got Ramos beating Lubin, man. Just different.
This is Lubin's last shot.
And this is for a WBC title eliminator at 154. Also, you got your Dennis Ugas versus Mario Barrios. You got Elijah Garcia. I like him a lot, man. Versus Armando Resendez. And I got Elijah Garcia on that one. Barrios versus Ugas. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even really care about that fight, bro, like that. But they fighting for the interim. They fighting for an interim WBC world title.
So what? One of them gonna get a chance to get beat up by Boots? Is what they trying to say?
With Boots is the IBF has the IBF interim. They fighting for the WBC interim, so they wouldn't even have to face each other. Really, they're in two different sanctioning bodies. But yeah, okay. Man. So you said you got 400 at the minimum, and you got what you said at the top?
700 at the max.
All right.
We'll see how good I am. I was a little off on the Spencer Crawford, but it did hit my minimum number though. That was the number that it hit my minimum.
Okay.
So we'll see though, man. But it's a really good question to pose. You know, I'm buying the fight this Saturday because I'm gonna be on vacation.
It's a mismatch, $85 fight that you didn't even ask for. That's all I'm saying.
Why are we calling it such a mismatch? Why are we calling it a mismatch?
Okay, because you got one. Okay, let me explain again. You got one guy who was up 2 divisions. He just fought undisputed champion, and I hate to say it, you know what they say when you fight Canelo, you go in already down 4 rounds. Like as much as Mayweather beat him and dominated him, one judge still
had a draw. One judge had a draw, which was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. So you got a guy coming off an injury, a layoff, and he's coming up 2 divisions against a guy who's probably going to be already up 3 rounds as soon as they do the ring walk. That's why I say it's a mismatch, bro. Am I tripping?
No, you're not tripping. That's why I'm laughing, because you're not really tripping, bro. I can't say you're tripping. Like I said, this question is a legitimate question to pose.
Puro said it's not a mismatch. That's the definition of a mismatch. 2 divisions heavier, an undisputed guy. He just fought in May. This other dude ain't fought in 16 months. And this guy's coming off an injury with his right hand, the power hand. That's the definition of a mismatch. But I'm gonna drop the link in a second.
No, but his skill set though is not a mismatch. It just favors Canelo.
What you mean the skill set is not a mismatch?
Charlo's skill set, if we didn't have those other factors, if we were just going based on his skill set, it's not a mismatch. It's just you favor Canelo, but you wouldn't consider it a mismatch based on his skill set and what he's done in the ring.
They in different the skills. I don't know if that skill's gonna translate at 168 though, at 14 pounds heavier.
That's a great question.
Because I've never, and the reason why, because I've never seen him go up in weight. He's been at the same weight versus a guy like Crawford or a guy like Canelo, where we've seen them go up in weight, seen them go up and down in weight, you know. So I've seen his skills translate at higher weights. I've seen how he moves and how he functions with that weight on him. I've never seen Charlo do that.
Well, some of the same things that so you've pointed out some really legitimate things, but there's some things we can point out in regards to Canelo. Hey, Canelo's not moving the same. He looked like he's losing a step. So there are some factors in regards to Canelo as well. I'm not saying it evens it out or anything, but it's not like a 100% like clean slate, 100% in favor of Canelo. He has every single advantage. I don't look at it that far gone.
Say that
Like,
again. I'm sorry.
Canelo is slowing down. He's not moving. He doesn't move the same. And I would like, even though we don't know 100% in regards to, you know, what Charlo will do at 168, but one thing we do know is that he's never been knocked out. He's a tough fighter. He's good.
Who?
And Charlo's an excellent fighter. Yes, he has some deficiencies, but he's better than straight, bro. He's better than straight.
All right.
He's better than all right, man.
I seen some struggle in there with Charlo a few times, bro.
I mean, but there's going to be struggle with anybody that faces anybody with this world.
Against guys of a lower tier than Canelo. Seen him struggle with guys of lower quality opposition.
Don't do this Errol Spence Bud Crawford stuff, man. You got heard about Gamboa. Don't do that.
No. He knocked that man out. He's still undefeated. It ain't Charlo who lost to Tony Harrison. Bro, I remember having this conversation with you about a couple weeks ago, Brim, and you was the one telling me, you was the one who was saying he lost some of his luster. I can't put him up there. I can't put him that high.
But that's in regards to putting him on the top of the list of the pound for pound.
Right.
It's a legitimate.
And you said that even if
it's a legitimate
Canelo.
argument. Yeah, but I said that's a legitimate argument, but I can't automatically put him there. I think if he beats Canelo convincingly, he has an argument for number one. He's definitely no worse than two. I would put him past a new way if he beats Canelo convincingly. Okay. And he has an argument for one. But that's all I can say. It's just an argument. I wouldn't put him past him, but he wouldn't be far behind though, because the type of victory is a bigger victory than any victory than Terence Crawford's had. So I got to take account for that. But at the same token, if I look at their entire body of work, then that's when a couple points come down, and then it's like he's borderline. I think he would be two. If he wins by a split decision or something, then it's an argument for me to him only be three. But if he wins, he's no worse than three. That's the worst you can put him. The worst.
All right. Well, look, let me do this reaction to this LB thing, and I'm gonna drop the link out there. If you want to pull up, you're more than welcome to pull up, talk some shit with us. All right?
You see me. All Appreciate
right.
you, bro.
My man. All right, let me do this reaction to this Leonard Ellaby clip, and then we can I can open it up and let everybody else pull up who want to talk some shit. Somebody said Mel has an excellent chin as well. He got a good chin, got a beard. I definitely give him that. I ain't never seen him get hit by somebody like Canelo though, 168-pound dude, and he gets hit a lot. And I've seen Mel knees buckle a couple times. I think Jensen Rosario had caught him with some good shots. He said 85 is not a bad fight with the loaded card. I don't consider Ugas and Mario Barrios being a loaded card. You got Jesus Ramos fighting Erickson Lubin. I'm sorry, bro. I don't consider that a loaded card. That's just me, ill status boxing. That's just me. Appreciate Brent Reaper calling in. Appreciate him calling in. Let me play some of this interview. This is Leonard Ellaby. I know some of y'all do not like Leonard Ellaby. And then I'll take some more calls and we'll open it back up to everybody else. Let me get to it. Where we at?
All right, up in about 2 weeks.
Hello. I was actually talking to a reporter earlier today. Canelo was coming to that fight with a chip on the shoulder.
Then he said Canelo's coming to a fight with a chip on his shoulder. I believe that is very true as well. Shout out to Leonard Ellaby for the interview. He did say he said that, and I've been saying that too, based off what Canelo said out of his own mouth. He was like, yo, him and his brother always disrespecting my skills. I'm gonna show them. They're gonna see it. They're gonna feel it too.
You know, he's coming off an injury, and that to me explains why his performances, his last couple performances, hadn't been per se what the public would expect, because the level of opponents that he's faced recently, I mean, let's call it what it is. I mean, you know, they haven't been the elite fighters.
It don't feel like a super fight to me neither, Lisa.
With the exception of Bivol. You know, he's a solid guy. I mean, with no disrespect, he's not an elite fighter. He's a solid fighter. He's good. And so, you know, I know there has been a lot of talk about.
Did he say he's not an elite fighter? What did he say?
I mean, with no disrespect, he's not an elite fighter. Yes, I mean, you know, they haven't been the elite fighters, with the exception of Bivol. You know, he's a solid guy. I mean, with no disrespect, he's not an elite fighter.
Damn, Ellaby said Bivol is not elite. Y'all don't think Bivol is an elite fighter? I think he's an elite fighter. Beat everybody, stepped in the ring with him. Dominant fashion, too.
He's a solid fighter. He's good. And so, you know, I know there has been a lot of talk about why he hadn't looked the same as in the past. And people were kind of saying that, you know, oh, you know, he's lost a step. I think with this fight right here, I think he's going to lay it on the line. I think, you know, he's coming off of the injury. He say he's 100%. And I think that we're going to see the best version of where he's at right now in him. But he's got a tough task at hand with Mel Charlo. Mel is hungry. You know, there are many people out there who aren't giving him a chance, in which I think that's the dumbest crap ever.
I don't know.
Because, you know, Mel does a lot of things really well. You know,
I mean, anybody with 2 hands, 2 feet get in the ring, they got a chance, right? Crazier things have happened in boxing. But the smart money is on Canelo. Like, why is that so hard for people to believe? All these people saying that, I don't know, man, Canelo, I don't know, he's slowing down, or Charlo might. Ain't none of these people going to the bank and saying, give me the deed to the house, I'm putting it all in cash on Jermell Charlo. Nobody's doing that. Stop it.
And one of his best attributes is his confidence. You know, one thing when you talk about Jermell Charlo, he's a winner. You know, that's the first thing you got to say.
Ain't no scoring on confidence, bro. My man said his best attribute is his confidence. You can't score confidence on the judge's card, bro.
You know, we've seen him, you know, come from behind in fights, and he has with my guy Redman said he has a clutch gene. You know, and in these situations, you expect that he's gonna bring it. He's gonna bring it, and his confidence level is at an all-time high because he knows what he's up against on the 30th of September. You know, it's gonna be a tremendous fight. You know, it's gonna be one of them fights where you definitely don't want to get up, you go to the bathroom or anything, because again, that both guys got something to prove. You know, they're all waiting.
One of these dudes, bro. Yes, you can go to the bathroom and get some popcorn, bro.
Classes for a reason, but in this particular case, you know, who's gonna be the bigger guy that night? Who's gonna be the bigger guy? I think it's gonna come down to the skills in this fight, and that's not always the case in fights, because skills always do pay the bills. But sometimes it's like, you know, it's like putting Floyd Mayweather in there with a heavyweight. You know, but moving up 2 weight classes, me personally, I don't think it will affect him at all. I think he's gonna be.
What? He said moving up 2 weight classes ain't gonna affect Charlo at all. Leonard Ellaby. All right.
Very comfortable coming in at a weight that that he's comfortable at, and he's not having to make 54. It's gonna be a terrific fight, and I'm really, really excited. He has a lot of support behind him.
Do we?
All of Houston is coming out for the fight.
Cap.
You never heard of it.
All of Houston is not coming out to this fight, bro. I'm sorry, bro. They didn't come out to see him when he fought in Texas. He didn't bring out all of Houston when he got that draw with Castaño the first time. He didn't bring out all of Houston, and that was in Texas. What is Leonard Ellaby talking about?
You never heard of it.
And it's one of those things. It's always great opportunity when you see a black fighter, Mexican fighter. You know firsthand what kind of fight it's going to be. You know firsthand what kind of fight it's going to be. You know, with him being African American, every brother and sister is going to be pulling for him and want him to win. And that has nothing to do with saying that, you know, Canelo doesn't have a lot of African American support. But in this particular case, every brother and sister, they come. And when it comes to Canelo, we know his people, they're diehards. They're with him through it all. You know, but with Canelo fighting on the big stage again, and I think that coming back to the PBC, you know, obviously for the Plant fight, but this is the natural platform for him, you know, because he's a big time star and has been for many, many years.
He sound like you,
and
bro.
I think that with him, and I don't want to touch too much on this, with him kind of fighting on the platform that he was fighting before, his exposure.
That's not true, Alden Johnson. He said you got to KO Charlo to beat him. Shit, Harrison didn't KO him. He beat him. Castaño arguably won that first fight, but he got a draw. Yeah, he got a loss and a draw on his record, and he ain't been knocked out. So that's not true, respectfully.
It was diminished, and I think that's fair. Now his bankroll got bigger, and it's always about getting that paper. You know, he made a couple $100 million. You know, shout out to Eddie Renee. I always pronounce his name wrong. That's my guy though. But Eddie has done a phenomenal job with managing his career and extracting as much money, you know, from each and every fight. He's done a phenomenal job, and he don't get a lot of credit that he deserves, and he should be definitely manager of the year. Definitely manager of the year. You know, for the yeoman's job that he's done. You know, with
that's a sneak diss. It sound like too. He sound like he sneak dissing Eddie Reynoso.
No, his career.
Couple of things I want to touch on with Charlo in regards to him.
Here we go.
You mentioned you like his confidence, and he's always known for his confidence, but hasn't quite been that same "I'm gonna knock your ass out" Jermell Charlo. How do you read into that?
Exactly. Thank you, Sean Z. If this fight don't do well, Charlo got to blame himself, man. Got to blame himself if this fight doesn't do well. I don't hear him talking.
And what's he got to do to pull off the upset? What's he got to do to beat this man as the underdog in Canelo?
Just be himself. I don't know what he's gonna say, but 9 times out of 10, when somebody say what he's got to do to beat him, just be himself.
How you know that's not a ploy?
I don't.
How do you know that he baiting everybody to you know what I mean, and turn it up when he needs to turn it up? You know, stay tuned for 37.
No, you need to turn it up for the promotion of the fight, man. That's when you need to turn it up.
September. You're gonna get everything what you expect. You know, it started out one way, and but it's all about how you finish. It's all about how you finish. I don't think in this particular case, it's like Canelo's not gonna get rattled with anything that you say because he can fight his ass off.
Yeah,
he's not gonna get rattled, but
Canelo can definitely fight his ass off. I don't know what people be watching when they be like hating on Canelo, bro. That boy can fight. That man can fight, man. Alden Johnson, so what you saying is we shouldn't support Spence versus Crawford too, because we already know the outcome? I didn't say you shouldn't support this or that, or what you should and shouldn't support. I'm asking a question. Will fans support a fight, a mismatch that they didn't ask for? Spence and Crawford, people asked for that. Some people are actually asking for the rematch because some people think the weight was the problem, or they had all these excuses for Errol Spence, but to each his own. Yeah, but I don't know. I think you should support what you want to support, if you ask me.
There's certain situations where you got to do what you got to do. Sometime in build-ups, you got to talk that talk. But wait for 30 September. We're gonna see if who's gonna come out on top. We're gonna see who's gonna come out on top.
What do you feel like are some of the things Charlo has to do to come out on top?
I think that he has to establish the respect early. I think he has to establish that coming out early that he's the boss. You know, Canelo, he's a resilient fighter, excellent defensive fighter. You know, and one of the things that I've been really impressed with, and I haven't had just the opportunity to say that, Canelo has a lot of tricks in his bag. He has a lot of tricks in his bag. And,
tricks for black fighters. Watch this.
You know, he reminds me of don't take this the wrong way. He reminds me of a black fighter. I mean, with his slickness.
He said Canelo reminds him of a black fighter. Oh, some people ain't gonna like that.
He doesn't have the typical Mexican style that you see most, Mexican fighters fight.
Salvador Sanchez was like that.
Right. He can do it all. He can do it all. So, and I really probably had touched on that in the past, but that's been very impressive to me personally.
Leonard Ellaby, hot take of the night. Canelo, he said, I know some people gonna take this the wrong way, but he reminds me of a black fighter.
Is he the best defensive fighter in boxing right now?
He's definitely one of them. He's definitely in the top 2 or 3. Top 2 or 3. Yeah, top 2 or 3. Well, I know people label some people as the best, but it's like you got to get in there with the top fighters to see, where you at. Canelo's definitely up there, but he's definitely a slick fighter. But also, Charlo has that clutch game that Fred talks about. That he knows he steps it up when he has to step up.
Rise to the occasion.
He rises to the occasion. And in this particular case, he's got to come out. Can't wait. He's got to come out and establish the respect early. Canelo brings a lot of experience.
Did you see his workout today?
Yep.
Did he look tired after his workout to you?
No, he didn't. It's just he's so Canelo's very comfortable where he's at in his career. And it's like, this is. I'm sure it's fun for him. Fun to a point where it's his job. It's not personal for him because he's accomplished everything that any fighter could ever want in his career.
Well, he started pulling for receipts, saying, "Well, you used to say you Charlo, but like I'm not gonna let it off the hook. The fight's getting closer now. Now I'm gonna start pulling for receipts to build some spite towards you and chip on my shoulder."
Well, that's what the when you're a veteran, you find different things. It's no different for a basketball player. It's what we call the bulletin board stuff to get you motivated. But Charlo is going to be more than enough to motivate him when that bell rings. Because again, it's that this won't be John Ryder, this won't be Callum Smith or BJ Sanders. It won't be none of that stuff. They're all good, solid fighters. But Jermell Charlo is better than all of those guys.
Is he better than them at 168 though? Is he going to be better than them at 168? Is he better than them coming up 2 divisions? Is he better than them with a 16, 17-month layoff? Is he better than them coming off an injury? See, these are all the unknown variables, right?
All of those guys. And this is the best opponent that he's fought since the Triple G fight. And no knocking on Bivol. Bivol won the fight. But again, I believe what Canelo said, he was injured. And in fact, I believe that. I believe it. I believe him. But this is the best fighter that.
I don't care, man. You signed the contract. You took the check. You trained for 8 to 12 weeks. You got in there. Like, I don't want to hear that where I was injured shit. I'm sorry, bro.
He would have, he's faced since Triple G won.
Speaking of, what's your top 5 Mexican fighters ever? You got a top 5 or is that doing too much?
He's number 1.
Not just because you promote him.
No, I'm not promoting.
Yeah, you're right. You're not right.
Promoting. This promotion is Canelo Promotions,
right?
And Canelo Promotions and TGB and PBC.
Ahead of my guy Salvador Sanchez.
Yeah, no. And I'm not just saying it's like I've been watching a lot of stuff on him, man. It's like he's a good fighter, and he's watched a lot of. You can tell he's watched a lot of Floyd.
Yeah.
But what a lot of people don't know is that man spars a lot of black fighters too.
Always has.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And he's gotten better. He's gotten better by doing that. Mm-hmm. He ain't just worked with one particular race.
Rashidi Ellis, Dennis Douglas, on and on, like a lot.
He's worked with a number of African-American fighters who are athletic, and he's learned that slick stuff from the guys that he's worked with. I mean, you look early on in his career, he was kind of robotic. Mm-hmm. He didn't have a lot of upper body movement, but he's gotten better and better and better over the years. And again, you got to give credit to his team, the guys because that's actually being smart and thinking big picture. How can I get better?
Right.
Working with I can't stay, I got to think outside the box, and they've done a good job with that.
Right.
Well, Leonard, thank you so much, man. I will close by just saying, how you been, man? Everything going good?
Everything's
All right. So there you have it. I'll drop the link out there, see if anybody want to give me their take on this. But while I'm doing that, I need the pay-per-view predictions in the chat. Pay-per-view predictions. How many buys do you think this fight will do? Pay-per-view predictions, pay-per-view predictions. 410, you got the flow. Tell me your name, where you from, family.
What's up, Mark? It's Jerry from Baltimore.
Jerry from Baltimore. Talk to me.
I don't typically agree with much that LRB
Turn the TV down in the
says.
background. Turn the TV down in the background if you can.
Yeah, that's the computer, right?
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I don't really like LRB. However, I do agree with a few things that he said there. One, no, DAZN is not a good format for Canelo. DAZN does nothing to accommodate the American audience. They tried a little bit in the early going. They signed some guys that didn't work out for them, like Andrade and Devin Haney. Never really brought them any box office success. They got a big market over there in England. It's isolated, but their fights, they putting on fights for that audience. They don't put them on for this audience. And like the caller said, the first caller, lots of people have Showtime. So I think that will make a difference because there's, it's so hard to say with the pay-per-view numbers because I seen the 150 number 2, but I also seen 450. I've seen everything in between on the Ryder fight. So it's hard to really say. I know Canelo generally averages about 500,000 pay-per-view, generally speaking. Now, he's done over 1 million. Him and Mayweather, a couple times, like the Golovkin fight. I think it was the second one, sold a whole lot. Of course, Mayweather, he's done bigger pay-per-views, but, he generally averages around 500,000. And to me, that's what this fight's going to need to sell in order for it to be worthwhile for the promoters because it's 35 million. I don't know what Charlo's getting, but they say Canelo's getting 35 million a fight guaranteed. So it's going to have to do around that. But I do agree. Oh, and the other thing I agree with Heyman on is, Canelo has never been a typical Mexican fighter. He just never has fought that way. He's always been a boxer puncher. That's what he is. And when he really wants to box and be defensive, he can be really good at it. Having said that about the zone, in my opinion, regarding that and agreeing with LRB that this is a better platform for him, the price has even got me thinking now I might not buy it, man. $85? Tired of PBC, man. I'm not the PBC's biggest critic, but they put on fights. They got a long history now of putting on fights that aren't pay-per-view worthy and putting them on pay-per-view for big money, like Wilder Helenas, freaking Keith Thurman and Barrios was on pay-per-view. I mean,
Ruiz versus Areola, Ruiz versus Ortiz.
This is a fight. I mean, at 54.99, I think they're shooting themselves in the foot, man. I think they're overpricing this fight with that number, and like we discussed a couple nights ago, there ain't no buzz on this fight, man. It's just not. Jermall Charlo's been out of the picture for a while. Canelo, his own popularity took a little bit of a hit with that Bivol loss, right? I mean, it's reasonable to think that. I mean, he's still probably, on average, going to do best numbers, or, he's still going to do, on average, good compared, in this weak pay-per-view era. But I think it's reasonable to think that, he may have lost a few fans there, Regarding the fight itself, I am kind of curious to see. He's going to answer a lot of questions, right? Because what I think and what he thinks and what you think, I mean, this is all what we think. We've all been right, but we've all been wrong plenty before, too. I don't think the size is going to be a factor in the fight. Canelo's a puncher at any weight he fights at, so you gotta deal with him the way you deal with a puncher. Because even if they fought him at 54, he's still a puncher there, and he was when he was at 54. But Charlo has shown a good chin. Now, you make a valid point. He hasn't been getting hit by a guy that fights at super middleweight. But, you know, I think he's shown a reasonably good chin. And I'm interested to see how it'll do. And it'll answer some questions for all of us. Because I personally don't think a 2-weight jump is that big of a deal. And maybe for some fighters it might not be, but maybe for Charlo it is. But we're going to get that question answered, right? Mm. We're also going to see if what a lot of people believe, myself included, is that Canelo's on the decline. You see? Because if he's fighting the way he was fighting when he was fighting those guys that, you know, Ellerby's claiming aren't elite, they were the champions at 168. For whatever it's worth, I mean, they were good fighters. The one guy that Canelo stopped, I think his name's Fielding, he moved up the light heavyweight and has been destroying people up there. And that guy's a big dude, man. That guy wasn't no chump. I don't care if he was from Europe or where the fuck he was from. He's a pretty good fighter, a big dude too. But you know, we're gonna get some questions answered, and hopefully, like you said, you know, hopefully the fight. On one hand, I want the fight to do well, but on the other hand, it's just going to validate. If it does well, it's going to validate them selling us some more bullshit. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, if they take a loss here and the backlash is, hey, you know, listen, man, because I don't think the fight is a mismatch. But I could easily be wrong about that. A lot of people do. And if it winds up being that, there's good reason to point to say, just like what you say, this guy's been out of the ring, he's been inactive. Regardless of what I think, he is moving up 2 weight classes where he hasn't fought before. He had an injury, a hand injury, which I think they overplayed, but nonetheless, he still had it. You know, when you put all those things together, you can easily see why people, maybe yourself included, might think, yeah, this is a mismatch.
Yeah, I mean, by its very definition, it's a mismatch. You got a guy who fights at 68 fighting a guy who fights 2 weight classes under him. On paper, that's a mismatch. Then the other guy is active. He just fought in May. The other guy's coming off a layoff of 504 days. That's 16 months, 16 days, so almost 17-month layoff. Then you have a hand injury. Like, yeah, and look, and then Canelo's one of those guys that even if you're beating him, they're going to be giving him rounds. He got a draw on one of the judges' cards versus Mayweather that night. You see what I'm saying? That's what I mean. He got so many things against him: the star power, the layoff, the weight, and the injuries. That's why I say it's a mismatch.
But let me just make this comment. This is a bit of a broader conversation, but what about at heavyweight, where guys routinely fight guys 14 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds heavier than them? And we have gotten used to it as boxing fans because they stopped, you know, doing weight classes after heavyweight. But those guys are human too. They're fighters too. When someone outweighs you, they outweigh you, whether you're a heavyweight or a middleweight. This is why that's one reason why the weight jump doesn't always bother me that much. Mayweather shown, because people said, I don't know if it's true, but it's probably safe to believe Canelo was 15, 20 pounds heavier than Mayweather when they fought. And it didn't make a lick of difference. He didn't win a round in that fight, despite that ridiculous scorecard. You know, at the end of the day, skills are going to pay the bills, in my mind, with a relative, you know, and relatively speaking. Can't put a featherweight against a light heavyweight. You know, I get that. But 2 weight classes doesn't bother me that bad. And in some cases, even 3. And this is why, big part of the reason, like we discussed, this fight's not selling is Bud Crawford stole all the thunder from it. And people are talking about him fighting Canelo. They don't even give a shit about Charlo. They're talking about Crawford fighting him. And why? Because they see that the skill level that Crawford has makes it a reasonable situation where you can see where Crawford could win. Now, if you was to have a show talking about, you know, his keys to victory compared to Charlo's, way more people are going to have faith that Bud can win that fight than Charlo. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Even though it would be 3 weight classes, effectively. You know, the only thing about the weight, see, the weight to me, if it doesn't translate to power, it's not that big. It's not a game changer for me if it doesn't translate to power. But Canelo's a power puncher at whatever weight he fights at. So the height and the reach, I think, are more important, relatively speaking. But the caveat is this: you don't know if Charlo, how the weight, putting on the extra weight will affect him endurance-wise. You know what I mean? That's the one thing that you don't really know. If he can keep his athleticism and his stamina, then I don't think the weight is going to be an issue at all. But that's what you don't know, right?
Right.
You don't know because he hasn't been there, you know. And also, like I said before, Charlo would be wise not to come in too much more than 160, if you ask me. He's not gonna match weight with Canelo. He's not gonna go in there and think he's gonna bulk up and get strong and beat Canelo up. I don't see that as a good strategy. That strategy for him is to put on some weight so he's reasonably fitted to get in the ring there with him, and then use his athleticism. Because I don't see him knocking him out, but I could see a scenario where he could outbox him. And lastly, I'll say this: you make a good point, myself included. Nobody's taking Charlo. All what I just said, I think Canelo wins. I think he wins a decision, 8-4.
All right, hold on for a second, Jerry. Go ahead, Peter.
Silent.
Hold on, Jerry. Stay with me. I think somebody wanted.
Yeah.
Mic check. What up?
Go for it,
Mark. Oh, okay. Hey, how you doing, Mark? Jerry made some great points. You know, some a lot I agreed with. Some I didn't. I definitely don't think the fight's a mismatch. I think the perception that the people that do have of this fight being a mismatch is from the points that you made, Mark, about him moving up a couple weight classes. You know, fighting a fighter the caliber of Canelo. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, Canelo has done what Jermell is attempting to do, but you know, that, in my humble opinion, is just Canelo's always been that special fighter that, you know, like, although like you know, it was a tough task for Canelo just because he was moving up in 2 weights. You know, he was able to pull it off. Where in this case, Jermell, I wouldn't say he's a special fighter, but he's definitely elite, and it's just he has a lot of things going against him. But if he fights the right game plan, I mean, like, nothing's impossible. I mean, like, it's been done in the past, you know. But if he comes in with the right game plan, you know, he might be able to pull it off. But that to me would have to be that he has to like break Canelo in a sense. Like he has to beat the fight out of him, you know, because Canelo, I believe is the better technical boxer in this fight. I think Canelo's going to win. I'm kind of on the fence by knockout or decision because you know, the hand injury does it could be a factor. Also the weight jump, and then just because Canelo is that dude, you know, he's a very good fighter and he's proven it throughout his career. So I'm gonna say right now, I'm gonna say unanimous decision by Canelo, but it could be a knockout depending on the type of fight that Charlo fights.
Yeah, I got to disagree with you before I pass to Rachel because she said
Yes,
she
sir.
asked the question. I disagree with you. This hasn't been done before.
Yes, it has.
No. We ain't talking. No. Not the weight. I'm talking about somebody coming up 2 weights, fighting he's not a top 10 pound for pound guy himself, fighting a pound for pound future Hall of Famer. You coming off an injury. You're coming off 504 days. That's 16 months, 16 days. No, this ain't never been done before. You coming up 2 weight classes, injured, layoff, and then a star future Hall of Famer who wins rounds without throwing punches sometimes. I'm just saying, like, this ain't been done before. Guys can in 2 weights before, but they weren't fighting a guy who was active and they getting off the couch, injured, one hand. Bro, not this ain't been done before, not successfully.
I mean,
hold on 1 second, Jerry. I just wanted to give you that one rebuttal, Puro. Go ahead, Rachel. I think she got a question for you, Jerry.
No, for sure. Go ahead.
And I got you, Puro.
All right.
I just think it, like, I mean, like, the question is, if we're doing like weight jumps and all these other things, like, I mean, even if we talk about Crawford jumping up to Canelo, what would be the point? Like, and I want us to be honest with ourselves, right? Like, when we're talking about, oh, well, it's, you know, he's jumping 3 weight classes to, he's pound for pound number 1. You're going to fight pound for pound number 6. And if we're talking that weight classes don't really mean much, then wouldn't you fight number 2? Number 2 is Inoue. He can jump up to 147. Now, before anyone causes a hoopla and says, wait, that's too much.
He's trying to
it's too many.
Undisputed. That's why he said he was trying to fight that guy for 3 times undisputed.
I know, but like they're saying, let's just assume
number 6 guy, the number 6 guy has undisputed. That's why you're fighting him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, okay, so one's undisputed, the other one is what they were saying is that like he's going for that, you know, solidify the pound for pound status. But the other person that could challenge him on the other side is Inoue, as allegedly we're, you know, predicting the future, that Inoue is going to be undisputed at 122. I'm not saying Crawford wouldn't go. Huh?
Crawford wouldn't get 3 times undisputed fighting Inoue.
True, but if we're talking about like pound for pound versus pound for pound, so the question is which way, what's his goal, right? If it's to like solidify pound for pound,
it's not.
Then he couldn't go either way.
And it's 3 times undisputed. He's trying to fight he wants to be 3 times undisputed. That's what he said in the interview.
Okay, but a lot of people argue that Inoue can't go and fight Crawford because of the weight difference.
I've never heard that.
It's all over. There's like no way that Inoue can jump all the way up to 147. The funny part is that same amount of weight division, not the amount of weight divisions, the amount of pounds, right? Because the smaller weight divisions have smaller increments. The bigger weight divisions have, the higher weight divisions have larger increments. It's almost the exact same. It's about 20 to 25 pounds between both. The difference between Inoue versus Crawford and Crawford versus Canelo.
So what was your question for Jerry?
Now I forgot my question because you talked to Poro first. Poro's more important than me. It's okay.
Oh, he was here first. Already talking.
Well, Mark, I don't think it should be ruled out either that Crawford wants to fight Canelo for that 3 times undisputed, but equally as much, he probably wants to fight him for the money. I mean, let's be honest. He's at the end of his career, and that's the biggest payday near him. And if he can land that fight, that'd be a win-win situation for him. Because if he loses, he's going to get praised just for trying, and he's still going to get the bag. So, you know, with Inoue, that wouldn't be the case. The money's not going to be the same there. Plus, that's effectively 4 weight divisions. But I hear what Rachel's saying, that it's the same amount of weight. I haven't done the math on it, but I'll take your word for it. But, yeah, less prestige there. But the other thing I wanted to say is Charlo's hand injury, I don't think you should overplay that much. He's had a long time to heal that hand. And Canelo was coming off of an injury not long ago himself. So his hand should be good and healed.
Canelo fought. Canelo had time to fight. Charlo hasn't fought in 16 months. You got to test that hand out, bro. It's like a basketball injury.
Sure
you got to get out there and play a real game.
Yeah, well, that's what the training and the gym work is for. I'm sure they've tested it. And Canelo fought because he
got smaller gloves in the fight, bro. Testing it in
I'm sure they're not going to go in there. Yeah, I'm sure they know whether his hand is healed or not. It takes 6 weeks to heal a bone. That he's been out for a long time with that hand injury. Fighters fight with hand injuries all the time. I'm sure Rachel can attest to that. That's the life of a fighter. I don't think that injury should be played up too much, his or Canelo's, because like you said, and I agree, I don't like hearing nothing about no injuries. If you take the fight, you sign it, you train, you cash your check, you don't get to cry about an injury, because most fighters fight injured anyway. We know this.
Yeah, there's no fighter that ever goes in there like, I mean, you literally go at the least you're sparring twice a week. At the most, you have fighters sparring 4 to 5 times a week, which I don't agree with. But I mean, you're banging it out over at the gym. There's no way that you don't come out with an injury, whether it's cramps in your legs, whether it's you got hit blocking a shot and your elbow hurts now, or your knuckles, of course, because I mean that's literally what you're hitting with, right? So I've never, and boxers will never admit going into a fight that they're injured. You'll hear about it after that. But then when people ask them, why didn't you perform that way? And they say it's an injury, then it's an excuse. So it's like, you can't win saying you do have an injury or saying that you don't, because either way you're just going to get killed anyway in the media. So.
All right.
I agree. And I think a lot of times, oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Piero.
I just also wanted to just mention really quickly. We also have to remember that both of these guys are coming off of surgeries to their hand, recent surgeries to their hand. You know, Canelo's had more time to heal. You know, and Charlo's happened, I believe, in March. But they're both coming off of surgery.
He had a chance to fight though.
No, that is a good point. And at the end of the day, that is like if I was I am a jermall fan, but I mean if I was like in their camp, I mean that would be worrying me more than anything else.
All right, go ahead, Bram. Then we can pass it around to everybody else.
Oh, go ahead and pass the peas. I'm here.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Nonito just reminded me. He said it was about the weights. When you're talking about heavyweights, the thing with heavyweights is they don't need to make weight, right? They're used to moving and performing in the weight that they're walking around in. So they don't have to worry about the cut weight part. So if people are saying that, okay, well, Crawford walks at 180, yes, but he doesn't fight at 180, he fights at 147. That's a different weight distribution. The what is it called? The way that your muscles react to the loss of weight, and your ligaments, your bones, all these factors. I know for myself, when I gain 6 to 8 pounds, I cannot, just the simplest thing, running. When I run with 6 to 8 pounds additionally on me, it's different in my performance level in addition to my lungs than when I'm lower, when I'm at a 110 weight. And that's because my body's not used to it. So heavyweights not having a weight, any caps on their weights, or you have to be within 10 pounds of the other heavyweight. The thing is that their bodies are used to completely performing at that weight. So when you consciously decide to move up in weight, your body has to be able to perform at that weight. And when all these other guys are so used to cutting, it's different.
So I'm sorry, what was the question? I thought you said you had a question.
No, I'm just making statements because Nonito reminded me that's what I was talking about. And I don't remember what my question is. I guess my question was like, I mean, if anyone has, lost 20 pounds and the difference in their physicality, in, the performance in their, exercise routines and how they felt from 20 pounds to plus 20 pounds. Like, what is the difference, especially if you're trying to do it in 2 months, which is not healthy. But
two weight classes is a huge jump.
No, you said 2 weight classes is a huge jump.
Even for a big guy, and I know that they are bigger and stuff like that. But because I've seen Jermall. He's a big dude. He's a big dude. Jermell is a different. He's a smaller guy, but I believe with these two, knowing Canelo is a shorter guy and he, has some muscle and all of that stuff. I think that Jermall coming up in weight and not really testing it could be a question, is all I'm saying, is because it is a big difference fighting in Rachel was saying. Even the 10 pounds or even, let's just say 20 pounds that he gained he could have more power, but his speed might be the key to this fight. And if he loses that speed, might be a detriment to him gaining the weight.
I agree with you, champ.
So who you got, champ?
I mean, when you look at, I think the best of Canelo, but I don't think he is at that mindset of being the Canelo that we've seen. And I know that people said nobody got Charlo. I got Charlo. You know, it's because
Hey, what? Stick it with it. I think you told me that like a couple weeks ago. You was like, well, you was talking about the betting odds, but you actually gonna ride with him.
I do. I mean, I think that if he can use the range, the jab, you know, and I know that Canelo gets underneath and you know and does that. But even the guy that he was it what's his name? Castaño.
Uh-huh.
You know, I think Castaño is a tough guy because he is very on your face. You know, he is volume. But Canelo, I think he has good, you know, he's always going to have that power. You know, he always going to have that counter and stuff like that. But when you understand his counter and his movement, you can predict where he's going. And that's why they just say Triple G, you know, even though he's right in front of him, he kind of knows what Canelo is going to bring and what kind of counter he will come up with. You know, the overhand, the counter straight, the counter to the body, you know, the feint to the right and then left to the body. I mean, it's a textbook. You know, when you look at all his fight, all these counters are pretty much the same. You know, and then I think that when you do study him, you'll know ahead of time what he will do when you set him up with the jab. He's going to counter with the overhand, or he's going to slip it and throw that straight. There's two things that he does. And if he goes to the left, he's going to go to the body, or he's going to go to the hook throw that hook. I mean, there's so many things that he can do, but he has a favorite thing that he loves doing. You know, the counters that he loves doing, you know, all that stuff. You can read what he does. And I think that's why Bivol just kind of kept his hands up and knew exactly what he was going to do and pressed on him when he got comfortable. But with Jermell, I think the jab is really going to be a big factor in this fight. Him stepping back, moving around, stepping up, you know, grabbing on. I mean, he's a taller guy, you know, when it comes down to it, but it doesn't really matter with Canelo. But I think the jab is going to be a big factor for him, you know, and not get countered with it.
If he keeps his distance and like almost like a Haney distance, you know, see how Haney, whenever he throws a jab, he and someone tries to come in, he creates that space again. He doesn't allow himself to get crowded. So as long as Charlo is able to move around the ring and keep that jab and not let Canelo make the ring small and corner him against the ropes, because that's not where you want to be, then he has a better chance.
And I think one big factor and one main weapon that Charlo is really gonna utilize or will be a big key to winning is that feint. If he throws that jab really fast, like he always does, and effective, but using the feint behind it, he gets him in. He'll be in control. It's a simple fight. If he's just gotta fight simple. Feint, throw the jab. If he comes in, feint, he'll pause right there to throw a counter, throw that straight or that uppercut or that hook that he does, you know, and he got power. So all he has to do is just play the distance game.
Is that power going to translate up to divisions against a guy with a granite chin, man?
Well, it's something that Canelo, any power can penetrate if you don't see the punches. I don't care how tough you are.
But
you know, if you don't
have to load up.
You don't have to load up. You know, like when I don't know who, I think, who did he knock out with that uppercut? Like, he didn't see it, you know, and just knocked him out. You know,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's so many things that you don't see, especially with Canelo leaning forward. That uppercut is really is going to be very surprising, but he can't show it because Canelo's going to expect that. All I know is he has power. And I know that there is no human being that can take punishments over and over and over. And of course, he has to build that up, of course, you know. But a lot of surprising and fights that are punches that are not seen is going to be the most devastating, you know. And again, that's why playing with the feint is such a crucial key to landing those punches that you don't see.
But isn't Canelo? He's gonna have to make Canelo respect him early in this fight because Canelo.
100%. But Canelo only fights one way. He's gonna move his head. He's gonna tackle that body, you know, and he's gonna try to throw those big shots. And that's why it's either go in and hold when you're inside, you know, or push them off. But keeping that jab is the test of his discipline.
Canelo presses early on in the rounds, at least the first 40 to 50 seconds. Then he backs off. And then he'll try to run back again later on in the round, especially if he has you against the rope. So if you killed your gas tank in minute 1 through 2, going into the last minute, like your gas tank's done, and he sees you on your back pedal, that's when he's gonna press you and try to get you against the ropes.
Do you guys think Canelo's slowing down?
I think his mentality is slowing down. I think he's very comfortable. Unless this is some fight that he really takes seriously, then he's going to be a very, very dangerous Canelo. That's you know, we got to see that. But when it really comes down to it, has he slowed down? I don't think physically he's slowing down. I think he's just not maybe training hard enough or taking things lightly, you know. And he even said it himself. I mean, he didn't look impressive in his last 2 fights or more. And, you know, that's something that he has to deal for himself, whether he is up for the challenge. And I think that's why he's counting all this stuff that Charlo has been saying, so that maybe he can inspire himself. Maybe he can get himself, you know, riled up. You know, that's something that he has to work on his own. But if anybody, no matter how good they are, if they are not up to it mentally and you know, this just really kind of walking and dealing with the fight, then you'll never see a fighter who's a dangerous, like we've seen him, you know, in the past.
I don't think he's as excited to fight Charlo as he's been excited for past opponents.
I mean, I think that the deal in itself is something that, you know, with PBC is something that that kind of made him go, okay, cool. You know, I just pay me the money, whatever. I don't really give a fuck anymore. I have made my name. I'm Canelo. So it doesn't really matter what I do at this moment in time. I'm just gonna get paid.
Like, who wouldn't want to take a fighter that has like, you know, it's been said, I think even Jerry said it, like, just been, you know, off for 16 months and 16 days, like, you know, had a surgery. It's like, hey, like, we'll give you this. Sign this contract and we'll give you this fighter. We'll take him off the shelf, I'm using air quotes, but we're going to take him off the shelf, and this will be your first fight with us. You just have to sign this deal, right?
I mean, that's the thing about fighters is a comfortable man is an easy man to, you know, to topple. You know, a hungry person, a hungry lion, no matter how good you can be or how good you are, but a hungry lion is always going to prevail, or at least he's going to make it a hell of a fight.
Good shit. Pass it around. Jerry, Puro, Unbiased Fan, what you guys think? What the champ and Rachel had to say?
I'm part. Oh, go ahead, Jerry.
Let me go because I got to get ready to go. But it's good talking with you guys. A lot of good points made there by the Daenerys. One thing that sticks out to me is exactly what Anito said there. If you got a reasonable punch, you can definitely get some people out of there. It's the punch that you don't see coming. It's an old cliche in boxing. I don't agree with a lot of cliches in boxing. I think they're junk, but that one you can believe in. Canelo took hundreds of punches from Golovkin, and Golovkin can punch, no question about that. But the only time I seen him get rocked from a shot from Golovkin was in the second fight towards the end. It may even have been the last round. Golovkin caught him with a monster hook that he didn't see coming. All the other punches, he took those punches, and they were hard punches, but he kind of they were in front of each other exchanging, so they both could see the shots coming. But that hook that he caught Canelo with at the end there, I mean, Canelo, he's got a great chin because that was a knockout punch, and he did not see it coming. And but it did. You could tell it really buzzed him, but he quickly recovered and he started moving his head. Golovkin tried to follow up with like 7 or 8 good punches, and Canelo made him miss every one of them. Because Canelo, when he wants to move his head and be defensive, he can do so. But I definitely, that point sticks out to me that, yes, definitely. So, yeah, Charlo, he's moving up, but he's still a puncher. It only takes a few pounds of pressure to knock any man out if you land in the right spot. And when you don't see it coming, and the faith, like he said, that's got to be part of his game. He's got to make Canelo use up those fast twitch muscle reserves because they wane as the fight goes on. If you're constantly being made to use those fast twitch response muscles, that reservoir starts to run out as the fight goes on and that's what those flinches will do for you. Roy Jones was a master at that. He would make guys flinch until their fast twitch muscles weren't reacting the same, and then he could take care of them. But and one other thing regarding what Rachel said about the injuries. You know, I don't like to hear fighters use that as an excuse, but I know that 9 times out of 10 they are injured. You see what I mean? They, like she said, they won't tell you before the fight. They don't want to jeopardize their payday or miss out on an opportunity. I know Andre Ward fought with a bad shoulder for a while. I believe Manny Pacquiao did too. Lots of fighters get torn up shoulders in their career, busted hands. So it's not that, you know, they're not injured. It's just, you know what? You can't use that. Well, if you take the fight, you know, because the other guy probably injured in some capacity too.
Right.
But anyway, good show, Mark.
Appreciate you, bro. Be safe, Jerry. All right. Phone lines are open. You want to call in, voice your opinion, 404-692-1766, 404-692-1766. I give you 2 minutes on the clock. Go ahead, Brent. What was you trying to say before Jerry spoke?
I was about to say that I agree with almost everything Donito said because this is why my opinion of the fight is not a mismatch, because I really think Charlo is going to look really good in the first 6 rounds. I really think he is. But my problem was why I cannot pick Charlo is because, and I've said this and I'll keep on saying it, in-fight adjustments. I've watched his fights numerous times, and the one thing that really will kill Charlo in this fight with Canelo is his lack of in-fight adjustment ability. He does great job from fight to fight making adjustments, but within the fight, when that happens, that's when the fight is going to change. When Canelo does something that's going to have Charlo in a position where he's going to have to make a major adjustment, that's when the fight is going to change. But the first 6 rounds, I believe Charlo is going to be right in there, and he's going to land some really good shots. But I think the second half of the fight is going to change.
Is he going to hurt him?
Canelo's going to respect it. I don't think he's going to hurt Canelo, but Canelo is not going to just run up in there with reckless abandon, because I do think Charlo has a strong enough punch to keep him from just running up in there. But I do personally believe that the advantage that Charlo would have, one of the major advantages he could have, he won't have, because I don't think his tank is going to be as strong as it was at 154 as it is at 168. So the one thing that Canelo does have this against him, that is his gas tank tends to wane after round 8. I don't think Charlo is going to have that same gas tank that he's had at 154. So I believe as the fight gets deeper, and then when Canelo puts him in a position where he has to make an adjustment, he's not going to be able to make the adjustment. Then both of their stamina is going to be close to the same. And then I think Canelo takes over the fight, gets a late stoppage or a unanimous decision.
Damn.
He lied. Y'all niggas
You really ain't feeling it. You feel like this is just a complete mismatch all across the board, Mark.
I mean, that's what you just described too. You just made it. You dressed it up nice, but you still get knocked out.
Just because you get knocked out don't mean it's a mismatch, bro.
No, I agree with a lot what you said though. When it comes down to that, the weight is definitely going to probably eat up his stamina going into it, because he's never been in this game in this weight class, 2 weight class at that, and secondly, when it comes down to it, you're totally right. When it comes down to infighting, he doesn't know how to do it, and that's why, I think this is going to be something that he really got to learn for himself. What Bevo did when Bevo was in there, he just tightened up, and hopefully that he learned that type of fighting, because he doesn't have to fight inside. That's the thing, is he doesn't have to fight inside. All you gotta do is, that's why I said earlier, the jab and the feint is the crucial weapon for him to win this fight. Sitting him up and be able to catch him with shots that are surprising, things that Canelo might not be able to see, with the feint, with the jab and setup and all of that stuff. But again, like you said, he, that's why Castaño was able to really get him in the first fight, is because he just doesn't know the distance. He don't know how to fight the distance, and he's such a taller fighter that that body shot is going to be something that he really has to worry about. That's why don't get in there, and if you're in there, grab and tighten up.
Champ, but you're trying to. I don't know if he's going to be a different guy. He's not a guy that knows to clinch and clinches well. He doesn't do a lot of feints. I don't see any of those Derrick James fighters doing a lot of feints, from Spence to Frank Martin to Charlo. I don't know if they even teaching that. I don't see him clinching well. You said hit him with shots he don't see. He telegraphs a lot of shots.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I said, again with Juan Guzman, he can be a lot slicker. Because I've trained with Juan, and I know how slick he is. But granted that he is a smaller guy and he is very talented, and that's the way he fight. But that's something that he has to really show up for, is the jab. And sometimes you don't see those shots because you're expecting something else. And like you said, he doesn't use that feint much or do anything. You can see the shot because he loads up on it. But there are things that people, and this is something that we have to really see, is because Jermell, he punched with you, and with Canelo, nobody punched with Canelo. That's the difference. Like with me, I punch with people, and that's why I'm so dangerous. And Jermell is the same. People don't understand that with the speed, and he can take advantage because he's faster, but he does punch with him. And a lot of fighters would just not punch with him. The only reason I would say he has to clinch or tighten up is when he is at a fighting distance or in fighting distance, but the thing about it is he punched with fighters, and that's why he's dangerous, and that's why he's able to knock a lot of these guys out, is because, he goes and he's not afraid to mix it up. And of course that can be a very dangerous thing too.
But Canelo has a pause in between his punches.
He has a pause, and that's why he gets countered with Bevo tighten up, because when you're power punching and somebody catches those shots, you're open for that split seconds, and that's why Bevo was able to catch him in between those power shots, and just Canelo was very frustrated when it came down to that, because yeah, I mean, I myself, any power shots, any power puncher, when you can block them, it's easy to go in between after that, because it's a pause, because you're putting it in there, you're digging in, you're putting your shots in there, and before it could set up, there's that split seconds where you're pulling your punches back.
Yeah, Mark, I wanted to address the point about the clinching. In this case, since Canelo is so adept at breaking clinches, I don't think if Charlo was known as to be a clincher and he knew how to do it properly, it would make a difference in this fight.
Canelo don't let you clinch. Okay.
No, he don't.
Neither did Spence.
What happened? What was that?
I said neither did Spence.
What do you mean? Neither did Spence what?
Spence didn't let you clinch either.
Or was Bud in there trying to clinch? Nah.
No, he wasn't.
Y'all lost me. I'm confused.
No, I was confused too on that question, but yeah.
I guess he said prior to that fight, Spence won't letting people clinch him neither. But in this situation, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Mark, to the I think the champ was saying about like Charlo punches with you, and that nobody punches against Canelo or with Canelo. I think there's a reason for that, and one of the reasons that makes him really good is that they know that if they try to punch with them, especially at close quarters, Canelo. That's what I think. I think one of the intangibles that nobody talks about Canelo is that like if you punch with him and you try to counter him, he's really adept at dodging those punches, at dodging those counters. So that's why I think that might be the reason why a lot of fighters don't want to punch with him. I just think they probably risk reward type thing. And in this fight, I wouldn't recommend jermall punch with him either.
What you think of that, Rachel Nonito?
Oh, hold on. No, you want to?
I think the reason why people don't punch with him is because he's very strong. It's like a lot of fighters. I mean, now it's like either one. Like for instance, with me and Inoue, right? It's either one of us who lands first, and whoever lands first is gonna be the one going down, especially with the smaller gloves. And any fighters on like say the heavyweights, when it's either they block or they clinch, right? It's especially the heavyweights, because when you get caught with it, you're gonna go down. So with a lot of fighters, they with Canelo and his with his style, and his the way he throws those shots, they're very strong, they're very powerful, and the only person that really took them is Triple G. He punched with him, and Canelo got caught with some good shots as well. But it lessens. The thing is, it could be very dangerous. The moment that he starts getting that respect is the moment that Canelo will hold on shots like he did with Triple G. And another scenario would be like Bevo is to, and I think this is going to be more susceptible or more better for Jermell, is he can catch and shoot. I think he really needs to go from it, keep his hands up, catch and shoot, and I think that's going to be a very good strategy when it comes down to it. Because he's willing to punch with people and he's not afraid of it. But when it comes down to that, I think the reason why people don't punch with Canelo is because he can crack. And not so much as they make a miss. He is really good at that. He's definitely really good at that. But the thing about fighters is you don't think about, I'm gonna miss a punch. You just punch. There's no fighter out there who's trained to punch somebody who's gonna hold off because I'm gonna miss. I miss a lot of shots, and my body just throws, right? When you have an opportunity, your body is just gonna throw. This is how your bodies work, because you're a fighter when it comes down to that. But ultimately, I think the reason why people don't really punch is because they're afraid of getting hit with Canelo.
Yeah. I think it's the heaviness of Canelo's punches, and I think I like what Nonito was saying about the catch and shoot part, because I think that's what we're more so saying than, hey, like, go out there and like punch for punch, right? It's more so catch and shoot is what we're saying, because of the fact that like Canelo will throw one, catch it, shoot, because Charlo's the quicker fighter, right? Get yours off and then bring your guard back up, because there is that, like we said, there's a delay between 1 and 2, and it's largely because Canelo is trying to load up for the second shot.
Yeah, and I actually agree with you guys about. I actually think that would be his only method of victory, is to actually punch with him. But at the end of the day, like I was saying earlier, I think he would have to like break Canelo, because like Canelo's not just gonna let you, like, you're gonna punch with him, but he's gonna land his shots too. So at the end of the day, you're asking Charlo to, especially with the in my opinion, I was saying earlier in the chat, the hardest puncher he's ever faced. You're gonna have to we're gonna have to assume that Charlo's gonna take all that punishment that's coming back at him, and eventually either stop Canelo or do enough damage that he wins on points.
Well, that's, I mean, like when you talk about damage, like that's the whole thing, right? Like whether it's physical or it's mental, because you see, like Canelo's been frustrated. So if you can keep him frustrated where he can't focus on the game plan that he wants to do, because he just keeps touching him and touching him, and nothing's freaking working, like that's enough, right? Like, so that's why I'm sticking to just touch him, get the hell out, like keep that same game plan, because it will frustrate him, and make sure that you're always adjusting that, like you're not sleeping on your own jab. There's a lot of boxers that like they fall in love with their jab and they're being complacent about the jab. It's still the same timing, it's still the same angle. There's no variety in it. So they fall asleep on their own jab. They're like, all I had to do is keep the stick out there and they're not going to come in. Well, eventually they're going to figure out within 12 rounds, right? But that's more so what I'm like, I think the frustration would have to, like the mental frustration is where you have to put Canelo, where he just gets so uncomfortable of being at the end of that stick, where he makes mistakes where he reaches and he can capitalize on those.
No, man. It sound good. Yo, look at PBC how they did the little foolery with the jewelry with this picture. They made Canelo a little taller on this flyer right here. You see that?
Only you would pick that out, Mark. But yeah, you're right. He does look taller.
They got to looking taller and bigger than Jermell on this poster right here, man. I'm just saying
I've never seen anyone do one where like the shoulders are off like that either. Like, why do they look like they're about to dance? Like they're literally in a dance position. Usually it's like, even though you're not a southpaw or an orthodox fighter, like you're positioned in an open stance. So this looks weird. This kind of looks like, go ahead, play your what is it called? Your 70s porn music.
We don't believe you need more people.
Not that one. There you go.
You know, in his marketing, to be honest.
For what?
I think Canelo's really smart in his marketing, you know?
Yeah. Smart dude.
Image is everything type of shit, you know?
Like, make me bigger in poster.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know. Hey, look, what have any of y'all been watching any of these all access? Anybody?
Of course, Mark. Of course, Mark.
Brim, you been watching them? How about you, Rach? No need to. Y'all been watching the all access, the pre-fight?
Well,
I watched the first couple ones.
Actually, we're gonna go, Mark. We have a sleepwalker, but really quickly, I want to tell you, we haven't been watching them because we kind of forgot that it's happening. There's no buzz in Vegas for this right now. I'm sure there will be people that show up this weekend, but I mean, we've had Life is Beautiful. We had iHeartRadio. We have Formula One putting down stupid street lights and causing up traffic. Like, no one's talking about this.
That's what I said too last week. I said it's not a lot of buzz for this fight.
There's no buzz here. So I totally forgot that there was any type of.
No.
No, yeah, Nonito didn't. I was like, hey,
I know there was fighting,
but you didn't know it was this weekend.
A couple months because they just kind of announced it and stuff like that. But I did not know. And when you told me, like, it's this week.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. See, no one, like, there's no one talking about it here.
Y'all going to the fight?
No.
Hell no.
It never heard of it.
Are y'all gonna spend $100? Champ, you gonna spend $100 on this pay-per-view?
No comment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. 90s style with the black box.
No, and here's the thing, like, we could go to the fight, like, you know, we could get the tickets from PBC and all this other stuff, but again,
but you rather watch the dog.
No, dude, like, you don't understand the traffic and all the shutdowns right now on the strip. Like, it's not worth
crazy,
it,
man.
It's so not worth it.
And the thing too, I didn't really prepare myself because I was just like putting all kinds of crazy schedule for this week, you know, because I didn't know. You know, I'm just yeah.
We're not mentally prepared to go to a fight. Let's just put it that way. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. We'll be in the chat.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Hey, please do support the fight though.
No doubt. Good night, y'all.
Hold up, real quick. Give me a pay-per-view prediction. How many buys you think it's going to do?
Ooh.
400,000.
400,000. Rachel, what's your pick?
Yeah, I was gonna say about that. Under half. Under half a mil. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we'll be in the chat.
All right.
Bye.
Peace,
guys.
972. What's your name? Where you from?
It was good. It's Ozzy. I didn't jump on the channel before.
What's up, Ozzy? How you doing? Welcome back.
I just got a question. It was good. I just got a question. And sorry if it's already been asked, but no matter if it's Canelo or Charlo, what do you think this fight is going to do next? Like for the next match?
Shit, depends on who wins and how they win or how they lose. If Charlo wins, they're gonna be doing a rematch, in my opinion. If Canelo wins, shit, I don't know what the hell Canelo gonna do, because I didn't expect him to be fighting Jermell Charlo. I doubt if his next fight would be Terence Crawford, or I just can't picture it, as much as people are talking about it, and I just can't picture him fighting a guy coming up 2 divisions, then the very next fight a guy coming up 3 divisions. I just don't see that. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight the winner of Benavidez versus. I think that got ordered, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be the next fight in my opinion.
Benavidez, Andre winner. I'm cool with that. Either one of those guys fighting him. What do you think, Ozzy?
I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I just came off of work.
Yeah, which fight would you like to see? What would you like to see next for the guy?
Yeah, I don't want to say it because everybody's gonna think I'm just saying on some bandwagon shit. But I mean, I do follow boxing.
Name the name.
Davis.
You said who?
I know everybody's gonna say that's blasphemy. Davis.
Tank Davis?
No, it's not. It's not on no bandwagon shit.
Hold on. You want? Oh, you said Benavidez.
No. I said Davis.
Tank Davis.
I want to see Davis. Yeah.
Versus Canelo Charlo winner.
Gonna be like,
hold up, versus the winner of Canelo or Charlo.
Yeah. And that's not on no
40, 47, 54, 60, 68. You think Tank Davis is gonna go up 5 divisions, 6 divisions?
I mean, shit, I want to see it.
Okay.
I want to see it. Me and my cousin, we talk about this shit all day. I want to see it. I mean, if not that, definitely, like you said, everybody else wants to see him fight. Whoever comes out of this, they want to see Crawford fight one of them. But that's just my personal. I know a lot of people want to be like, oh, no, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy as shit. But, I mean, I'm just saying. That's one of the boxers that I actually followed. Like,
where you from, Ozzy?
Ever since the beginning when he was an undercard.
Where you from?
I'm from Philly.
Okay.
I'm from Philly. Right now, I reside in Texas.
I thought you was from Baltimore.
Of course, I'm waiting on Bruce Ennis.
I was about to say, you must be from Baltimore talking about you want to see Tank versus Canelo. Like, I've never heard of that. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I mean, shit, I wanted to see Tank go against Crawford.
Okay.
I'm ready to see this.
Bruh.
I'm ready to see it.
Bruh.
I know I stand.
The Bible tells us that silence is golden.
Ozzy, I ain't trying to disrespect you, man, but you kind of bugging, bro. You bugging.
No, go ahead and talk the truth.
Like,
talk the truth.
When did that become a thing? I'm befuddled over here. You hear me stuttering? I'm like, bro, I've never heard anybody say anything about Tank Davis fighting Canelo Alvarez. Like, where did you get that from?
It's just because I just really want
Are
to
you trolling me?
see.
Are you trolling me, bro? I feel like you're trolling me a little
No.
bit.
I ain't trolling.
I feel like
I
you're
ain't
trolling me a little bit.
I want to hear that.
This is based off of just
Weed. It's
the
based off some
purity
good weed.
of
That's what that
sport.
is.
You can't smoke weed. Period.
Bro, what you
Well, you know
on,
if
bro?
they got this. You know if they got the high grade. I mean, if it's not that, I'm ready to see Ennis get in the ring with one of them. You know,
Boots Ennis get in the ring with
Because, like-
Canelo or Charlo winner.
somebody. I'm ready to see these people fight.
Bro.
Because, you know, obviously we know everybody be ducking everybody and then everybody fights each other at the wrong time. Like, all these dudes with Spence and Charlo in that camp, and we be waiting on these fights. I'm just ready to see that.
All right. Well, I
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, go ahead. Can
Can I give a
Well, I
different
mean,
perspective, Mark?
Sir?
Go ahead, Ozzy.
No, I'm just saying, understand, I'm not in the ring like y'all been training and shit, but I do follow the sport. I got family and friends that been in boxing. My boy, he was a Golden Glove. Ain't nothing big now. This is like years ago. But yeah, we talked about this. He was like, yeah, that shit's crazy, but it's just like, look, I'm ready to see these fights. And I get it. You know, they got to train. It's a lot. You got to get these matches up. But I'm ready to see these fights. Because to me, this should be a big fight. So everybody like, yo, I'm forgetting this. Like, I haven't heard of it. I've been waiting on this shit for 3 months when they announced it.
You've been waiting for Tank to fight the winner of Canelo. Charlo.
No. I've been waiting. I know I'm jumping. I've been waiting on the Charlo and Canelo fight.
Oh, so you excited about this fight?
Basically,
Are you
for
going to
that-
Vegas for the fight, or you buying the pay-per-view?
No, I ain't going to Vegas.
You gonna spend $100 for the pay-per-view? You gonna spend $100 on the pay-per-view?
I ain't gonna discuss that allegedly,
above.
but you
It's
know,
all
I
good.
got. Oh no, I got my link. I got
Okay,
my link.
fair enough.
So,
So
you know,
you're
once I
excited
get
about
my
this
link,
fight, but you ain't gonna
I'll
buy
watch
it
that
though.
fight. I brought fights in the past.
That don't count, man.
He said that don't count.
Yeah, that's like telling your
That
wife
don't
I was.
count.
That's like telling your wife I was faithful to you when we first got married. I'm cheating now though. Like, come on, bro.
Now my wife be like, look, don't pay that pay-per-view right now. These kids just got back into school, so
Oh my
got a couple of bills before that. Got
Oh
a
my
couple of
God.
bills before that.
All right, go ahead and put on unbiased fan. What you guys think of what the caller had to say in the fighter he wanted to?
Yeah, I just want to give a different perspective, Mark. Well, like I actually think I know where Ozzy is coming from, because like I'm a Tank fan as well. But obviously, like in face value, yeah, that's nuts. You know, a lightweight versus a super middleweight. But I mean, just imagine if Tank was you know in Crawford's weight and his height, you know, or maybe even you know in Jermell's position. You know, like I just think like the skill sets, like if that could happen, you know, like obviously it's that's like uber hypothetical, but I just think it's just I think a lot of people respect Tank's skills and you know I think a lot of people expect Canelo's skills, so I just think it's kind of like a it's like a what if, like imagine if these guys were like it was actually plausible for them to fight and it would be you know this crazy of a weight disparity or the height disparity. Well, it's not height disparity, but a weight disparity. Like I think it would it would be a barn burner. So I think like if you view it from that lens, I don't think it's that crazy. But yeah, if you just view it for what it is,
Bro,
yeah, nah, Tank Davis versus a Canelo, no.
You're trying to make this shit have some meaning to it, bro.
I'm a big Tank fan, you know, and I do respect Tank's skills, you know. So like, I mean, if it was plausible, I would want to watch it. I would be calling for it.
Bro, this guy's in Tank division right now. He need to be fighting. That he hasn't fought. That we want to see him fight.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, and I already know why that's happening because you know he came. I don't know if he's still with Mayweather. He came back or whatever because I know they was back and forth. But you know he got that Mayweather blueprint. Because to me, he's like a little mini Mayweather, but he's just more explosive.
Man,
he gets out there more.
Floyd was fighting champions, bro.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, if you look at his game and the blueprint, he's a little mini Mayweather. You know, not to say that oh no, he's solidified as that, but if you look at that blueprint, I mean, he was in his corner. You know, and ever since he's been training the undercard and he's been on the team or he was off the team and he went back. I mean, I don't know what his relationship is now with the team, but that's how he's been fighting. And, you know, anybody who follows boxing now, they know, like, hey, they doing it for career-wise so they have longevity and later on they could do something. Because, I mean, let's keep it a buck between, like, boxing and football. If you do this shit too much, you know, you're gonna be effed up. So, I mean, there's a couple of fights. It's gonna sound crazy. Like I said, if it's not him, I want to see Ennis in there. That's why I was excited because, you know, between that Charlo camp and then fighting, like, all right, yeah, I'm ready to see this. Either way, if it comes out, whatever happens, I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be excited to see what the next match is going to be.
But you ain't even buying this shit, man.
Now you might press me to buy this.
I mean, no. I ain't judging. You ain't on trial. I'm just saying, like, all right, Ozzy. I appreciate you, though, man. I'm just, you know, I got to crack some jokes, man. I got to talk some shit with you, but I'm just saying.
No, of course. I was, hey, look, I'm from Philly, so, you know, we did.
You had any drinks today? You had any drinks today?
Brother.
Have some good gas? This nigga here got some fantasy fights for you.
Nah, just got off of work. I know I'm coming from left field. You know, I know this is.
Thank God Trill ain't around, because they'll try to make that shit. Tank Davis versus Canelo. Damn. All right.
Hey.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Ozzy.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, cool. All right, good call, man. Good call. My man said he wanted to see Tank Davis versus Canelo next. What are we talking?
I feel him, though, Mark. I feel him, bro. Trust me. I feel where he's coming from,
bro.
What the hell is going on?
Nah, bro.
He's obviously a Tank fan, and so am I. And the thing is, I think it might be coming out a bit of frustration because, like, we like most Tank fans, they see the skill set and they're like, damn, we wish he could get in there with the dudes that, like, the ones that they say, yeah, Tank should be fighting these dudes. I don't know why he's talking about this. And I think most Tank fans, true Tank fans, agree. Yeah, let's bring him on. But we live in a time where, man, you know, like these politics in the game and then crossing the street and this, that, and the other, like, you know, like it's frustrating, you know, like that's been my biggest frustration with Tank. Is like, damn, man, if only they could just make these fights easily, I think Tank could prove to the world that he's that dude. But unfortunately, we're stuck in a place where, like, yeah, Tank don't need to be talking about nobody else. He needs to fight who's in his division. But, you know, easier said than done.
Shit like that. Go ahead, Brown. Tank got to fight somebody in his division, bro.
No comment.
Man, keep that shit up. Thirsty for Tank ass dudes out here. Come on.
I like Tank, but again, he needs to fight the people that is in his range. That was the extreme maximum Dalcine reach. You know, so I'll leave it at that.
I should have asked him, man. I think he's thirsty for Tank, man. I think he got that thirsty for Tank, bro. I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
But let me not be like that, 'cause I don't want to discourage other people for not calling in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to be discouraging. Like, man, I don't even want to call in. They're gonna pick on me if I say something. Nah, man, we just cracking jokes. That was extreme though, right? That one deserve what it got, right?
Deserved to never heard of it.
Okay. Oh, my bad. Yeah.
It never heard of it.
Yeah, I had never heard of that fight.
Yeah,
me neither. I didn't know what he was saying at first. Man, my man said, "Yeah, I got to make that a clip, yo." Ozzy, you might be on the wall tomorrow, bro. I might have to make that a clip. Shit, that's pretty much it, man. Y'all got anything else? Anything else going on? Anybody need to talk about? Anything else going on?
Oh, I wanted to say I got 1.4 million for this fight. What's gonna make on the box office?
Yeah. What up?
Yes, sir.
Y'all need to worship him.
Stop lying, bro.
No, I believe so. I believe so. At the end of the day, what
Stop it.
What happened?
No.
Like,
man.
That's my prediction.
Mark, that's what I thought I was out. They pulled me back in.
doing this damn.
If I get this right, Mark, this will be the third in a row I got right on pay-per-view buys. Third in a row. I got Tank and Ryan right. I got Errol and Bud right. If I get this one right, bro, I don't know, man. You know, I think I'm gonna have to be laughing at. I have to laugh at Brim, bro.
No. Tank and Bud, you jumped out there with $1 million with me, bro. I remember that.
I did. I could have sworn I said 700,000, brother.
No, you went with me on that. I was like, you said $1 million. I was like, yes, Porto, come with me. Jump off this ledge with me. Yeah, bro.
Fair enough, but I do remember saying 700,000 as well. But if my final answer was 1 million, I'll give you that. But at the end of the day, I just think obviously you guys don't think this, but I actually think this is a fight that fans want. Even though what was his name? Ozzy just called in and said he was gonna do what he's gonna do to watch the fight. He still wanted to watch it. He was still up for the fight. And I think the narrative is that a lot of people stream it, and I think that's the case, but not enough to actually hurt the actual people that actually buy it. So because this is going to the people that rock with Canelo are going to buy it. They're going to come out. And I think Brim made a good point earlier that the Ryder fight, that one, even his most staunchest supporters probably didn't. A lot of them didn't buy it because it was John Ryder, but they understood it was like, okay, coming off a hand injury, it's a mandatory. Okay, whatever. I'll just watch the next one if he gives me, a good opponent. And I think this fight is people have been asking for both Charlos, by the way, for a long time. It's just Charlo went one way, Canelo went another.
Yeah, but that was back when when Canelo was, more in their range and weight. And I'm just saying, Puro.
Yeah, no, I understand you, but at the end of the day, bro, people know that this is not a mismatch, Mark.
Bro, nothing about this fight smells like 1.4 million buys. What are you talking about, bro?
It does to me, brother. It does to me because of the narratives. One, because people have been saying he's been ducking both Charlos since the Charlos were even a viable opponent for Canelo. I don't know, man. Watch, it's gonna all add up, and y'all gonna be eating some crow. But if not, like always, if I'm wrong, I eat my crow.
1.4 million buys for Puro.
Correct, I remember. The reason I picked 1.4 for Tank and Ryan, I was watching the lead up and the workouts, and I saw how many people watched those fights. They didn't get up to those numbers, but they were very similar numbers. I mean, the Canelo workout was averaged 50,000 viewers.
That's free.
No, I understand, but I mean that's kind of where I got this. That's where I got my mind,
man.
I got to get all the information. Mark. At the end of the day, I know that Jermell has not traditionally been a pay-per-view draw. But I mean, let's face it. Like, he hasn't fought anybody worthy of a pay-per-view, and they stack in this card well. I don't know. I think even if it doesn't sell that much, they're doing everything in their power to make sure
it's a stack. Barrios versus Ugas is stack.
It's the weakest of the cards, but the other ones are very good. Are very good matchups.
Man. Okay.
I mean, if I get it right, what am I going to get? A cookie? At the end of the day, it's just my prediction.
Yeah. I'm just disagreeing about this stat.
I know.
Card.
I'll get bro.
Card. Now, I like Ramos. A lot, but he's not.
A lot.
I like Lubin and Ramos. I like both of those guys a lot, but they're not. That's for hardcore fans. People with boxing know who these guys are.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not like a. I don't know. I don't see 1.4 million buys off this shit, Puro. I don't think there's that much fanfare around it. There's no hype around it like that. They right there in Vegas. They said it's not booming like that. But go ahead. I ain't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. No, one more point. No, I cut you off, Mark. At the end of the day, I felt the same way, and people were also saying this about the Tank and Ryan fight. And there it is.
Say what?
People were saying that, people said that they didn't have they had the same feeling for the Tank and Ryan fight, that they felt like it wasn't being promoted well. That the only promotion was being done on YouTube.
They was hyping,
and that's why I went by the YouTube numbers. I'm sorry.
Those guys was talking shit in those press conferences. That shit was going numbers. People had been asking for that fight for years.
Yeah, but they were talking shit because their fan bases expect that from them. People don't expect shit talking from Canelo.
What you mean you're a horrible fighter? Get the fuck out of here. You want payday?
That was after the fight, Mark. That was after the fight.
No, but Canelo's been talking shit though, and he
No,
won't to that fighter.
Yeah, but he doesn't like it. It does like he doesn't he doesn't go out of his way to talk shit.
Well,
He
what about
responds.
Charlo then? What about Charlo?
Well, the Charlos talk shit all the time, but in relation to this fight, they've always shown Canelo respect. So at the end of the day, I believe the fan is turned off by disingenuous people. I believe jermell is just being genuine in relation to the promotion of this fight. I think if he would be talking shit where he never talked shit before, I think people would be like, "Oh, he's just capping," and it'll probably turn him off.
Man, nah, he was the one calling out Canelo before this. He was like, man, that guy can't beat me. This was right after the John Ryder fight. He was like, undisputed versus undisputed could be a big thing in boxing. Like he said, man, I'll beat his ass. That guy can't. He was talking that shit. That was just in May. Now he gets the fight and he's quiet. This is your stack undercard right here too. Elijah Garcia versus Armando Resendez. Ugas, five loss Ugas versus Barrios. And Jesus Ramos Jr. I love him, but don't nobody know who he is. Versus Erison Lubin, who pretty much is getting his last chance at a title run right now. This show stacked undercard. Come on, bro. It's some names that you know.
It is.
There's some names that you know. It's not like your Ugas just came off a beating a year ago. He's coming off.
I agree.
Got a beat, destroyed.
Yeah. And that's because he sucks. So that's because he sucks. And I agree with you with that fight. All I'm saying is that I believe, I believe for the fan base that's gonna buy this particular fight, there's other fights you could put on there to obviously to make it pop, but I mean this is a very solid card.
I'm
What the hell are you doing, man?
No, look, now there you go. Solid card. There you go. It's solid. You went from stacked to solid. This is
okay. Can I not say stacked?
It's $100.
I still think it's stacked.
It's $100.
No, it's 85. I thought you said it was
$84.99 plus tax, bro.
Okay, well, yeah, he's gonna sell.
$84.99 plus tax. It's $100, man.
And you guys were saying under a million, like a Ryder versus Canelo did 450. So I mean, like, come on, this is gonna do more than 450.
I haven't heard that. I heard 150.
I heard that like a week after.
I heard 150 to 2. Then I heard it was double. So that was that would be 300 to 4. And then we got 450. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mark.
Nah, I'm just saying I heard 150 to 2, and then right after that, I heard Eddie say, "Well, it's more of like double that." So what's that? 300,000 to 4?
I read multiple articles that had 450 was the number.
It's a nice even round number, huh?
I don't know. I got this from TV, television, and the internet. So I mean, like at the end of the day, I mean, we'll never know the real number.
Exactly.
Yeah. But look at Triple G and Canelo 3. I didn't want to see that one. Me personally, like I had no interest in seeing it. It made over $1 million.
Say that again.
I was saying Triple G versus Canelo 3. Me personally, I had no interest in seeing it. I still paid for it because I'm gonna pay for the fights. But at the end of the day, that fight made over $1 million.
Yeah. The John Ryder fight was $54.99. Now I don't have a problem with that. The Triple G fight was $54.99. I don't have a problem with that. He even admitted, like, yo, my last performances weren't that good. So after saying that, you upcharge the fans $30?
I mean, he's not upcharging the fans anything. He's giving them a better fighter.
Company, different prices.
He's giving them a better fighter and a fighter that the fans want to see.
Charlo's a better fighter, Triple G?
Oh no, the Ryder.
Ryder.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what he's gonna look like at 168. I'm just saying, bro.
No, we don't. But I mean, that's the thing. We don't know how it's gonna play out. All the fighters can do is try to give them the best available opponent, and usually an opponent that some perceive that Canelo has ducked, and some in the past and still to this day want to see. So at the end of the day, I think they're doing the best they can with the available opponents available to him.
Somebody said Lubin versus Ramos. Who y'all got? I got Ramos.
Get Ramos.
Jesus Ramos is nice, bro. He's nice.
He is very nice.
He's nice, and he big as fuck in that ring, bro. At 154.
Where's his title shot? Where's Ramos' title shot? He beat up Mendoza already. He gets a title shot. Ain't
They
right.
doing a this for the WBC title eliminator. This is WBC super welterweight title eliminator. So
no, I'm just saying that like Ramos already beat Mendoza, but Mendoza gets the shot. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, that's crazy. But I don't think he's in the WBC. Mendoza's in the WBO.
No, I understand. You know, it's politics. I know.
Yeah, you got to be in the right.
Speaking out loud. Speaking out loud. Speaking out loud.
Yeah, you got to be in the right shit.
No, Mendoza's in the WBA, isn't he? Or the WBC, one of the two. Because remember, he's fighting Tim Tszyu
for the WBO. Like I said.
Yeah, but he's the interim WBA.
He's the interim WBA. No, he got that. You know what? Yeah, because he beat up. That was the WBC.
When the WBC, I know it was one of the WBAs, WBA or WBC was one of those two.
Yeah, he got the interim WBC. Yeah.
Well, I hope Mendoza wins and then he gives him the rematch.
Mendoza's getting knocked out.
What?
Sue's kind of overrated a little bit, but he's a good fighter.
Sue was knocking him out, man.
Oh man. Now I like that fight. I'm excited about that fight.
I am too.
I know they both coming to throw some hands. You said so. One of y'all got. Who got Mendoza? One of y'all?
Nah, I don't have a pick. I just hope Mendoza wins. He does have power. Sue is I believe is just being a bit overhyped because of what he did to
Harrison.
What's his name? Harrison. You know, which was a good win. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, like he beat Harrison. Doesn't matter what I think if he was like maybe shot or maybe a little long in the tooth. It still would have gave me a better quality win exactly. Better chance versus Jermell, but I think still Jermell would beat the ever living shit out of Zoo.
And the way he beat him too, he dominated every facet of that shit.
Exactly. And then the other guy, the guy that Spence beat a while back. I mean, that one I can't really rate that win because it was just one really good shot and it was over.
Ocampo. Ocampo.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, Ocampo. Correct. Yes, sir.
Mark, you know your favorite line of tonight is?
What?
Man, he always be doing that. He's always like,
Y'all niggas sound gay. That shit sound gay.
It does. That's why I stopped.
I'm about to get off the phone with y'all, man. There's 3 niggas up here saying on the phone.
Hey, there's a YouTuber that does that like that's like his.
You're talking about we just doing the Frank Martin right now. Give a little
What the
you
hell?
Making videos like things that make you go
Oh man.
We doing the Frank Martin, bro.
Yo, I couldn't even watch that interview, man. I saw some clips of it. How bad was it? I heard it was bad.
Man, listen, they was just pandering. They wasn't asking him no real question. They was doing softballs like crazy. It's expected though. I mean, they are part of the Wakandas, or the word they use. Yeah, you know. So this is the same crew that blocked me because I told them they have bad takes, and I said I would never unfollow you because I enjoy watching your bad takes. So
you can block
I think
me.
Brim has bad takes, but I hope he doesn't block me.
I like those ladies, man. I don't but I just couldn't watch the interview because for one I was busy. I was out of town. I was in New Orleans when they dropped it, but then I
eating alligator nuggets.
Yeah, I ate some alligator for the first time, man. Ate alligator in New Orleans this weekend. And it was straight. It was straight. But when I saw all the reactions to it, I was just watching those clips that was going around and seeing Frank's reactions. But I heard the interview, like you said, it was a little too nice. You know what I'm saying? They didn't give him no pushback on that. But shit, I wish him nothing but the best though, man. Congrats to him for securing the interview. But yeah, man, I heard he made himself look even worse.
A little bit of
Yeah. I was wrong.
A little bit of Did you see the remix they did? They did the Nelly's Hiding Here remix with Frank Martin.
No.
Yes. A little bit of they did the remix.
No.
To be honest, Mark, I made a little rule recently about I'm actually not going to take anything that fighters say on YouTube interviews, except for select exceptions, too seriously, bro. Because I don't know, I just, you know,
Yeah,
too many,
like if it's Joel doing the interview, then yeah, you know.
If it's who?
Joel.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah, because he came in Mauricio Suleiman crucial, like
about what? About Jermall?
Just about how they operate, you know, how they not following their same rules. They make rules just to break them, you know.
Mauricio's never coming back there.
But he's always honest, Mauricio. He always tells you what he's doing.
Yeah.
He doesn't make it right, but he tells you what he's doing in your face.
I heard him say that last time. He said, "I've already answered the Jermall Charlo question. I'm not answering anymore." I was like, "Yeah, but that was months ago. He's still out right now. Like, we need an update. What the hell is going on?" Like,
I agree with Mauricio. The answer ain't gonna change. Why are you asking me again?
Because the time has changed. I mean, I like that answer 6 months ago, 8 months ago. But I'm gonna lie, when I saw him and Jermall Charlo embrace each other at that damn Spence Crawford fight, it was backstage. It was backstage though. It was like, so there was no media members there, really. You know what I'm saying? Except for a couple of us. You know what I'm saying? And I filmed that shit. I need to put that, bro. He hugged him like a father hugs his son, bro. It was like they got a connection, bro. Like,
it's deep,
bro. It looked like a father hugging his son, bro. You know how you hug somebody, you hug them, but you know, like you kind of put your head down on the shoulder a little bit, motherfucker, like cut the back of your head, and they talking to you like, you know, you know what I'm saying, like it's gonna be all right type shit, you know.
Yep.
You know what I mean.
That's how he makes his money, Mark. That's how he makes his money. He's got to keep the talent happy.
But those dudes, the guy got to fight though.
Yeah, he does,
Yes.
and I agree. I agree with all the criticisms. You know, obviously the valid criticisms towards Mauricio. I think he does a lot of fuck shit. So do the other, excuse my language. So do the other sanctioning bodies. Not as egregious as the WBC. But man, you know, they slipped that envelope, bro. I bet you if you analyze that video, you'll see the little envelope going in there in the hug.
Allegedly, maybe, possibly. We can't say anything.
Listen, it's Manila. Just remember, it's Manila.
Yeah, man. Allegedly.
A Manila envelope.
Yeah, man. So Frank Martin is definitely not fighting nobody that we want to see him fight. He's not fighting Tank. We was wrong. We was hoping. Gave him.
Oh no, it's not. It's a false rumor.
You know what people are starting to hope for, and I mentioned this about a month and a half ago. I said I'm hoping to see this happen, and it's a long shot, but it's, hey, listen, I'm still hoping it's a chance it can happen, and that is going to be Tank versus Tio.
It never heard of it.
And you know what, Mark? Keeping it a buck.
Tell me that shit fell out your pocket, man.
Keith and Tank is more ludicrous than Canelo and Tank.
Say what?
Keith versus Tank is more ludicrous than Canelo versus Tank, in my opinion.
Keith versus Tank is more ludicrous. Nah, Keith to take that fight, he need the money.
No, I know he would. I think they both would. But at the end of the day, like, for what? Like Keith, I doubt he's going to take any fight. I think he's retired. I mean, like he would have announced something by now. At least a Canelo fight would be for money. You know, like, yeah, he's gonna get his ass kicked, but at least he's gonna get a bag. You know, like I get it from their perspectives. It's gonna make a lot of money. But Keith, boxistically doesn't bring. I mean, I don't know.
You think Keith should have been on this? I heard Keith and Ugas was trying to fight. I remember that going around, and then I remember Brian Custon, he interviewed Keith. He was like, "Now see, you out there getting your information from the wrong people. Like that thing ain't done yet." And now I'm looking up, seeing that's on this undercard. Is it possible Keith had a problem with being on this undercard, or did they move this fight, move Ugas to this undercard because without Thurman, he's not a main event?
Thurman probably wanted too much money at the end of the day, man. Because I remember seeing something about Ugas saying, "Yeah, I wonder what happened to Keith. I was supposed to be fighting him." That's what the Ugas had said.
I think both could be true, Mark. I think even Brim's right. I mean, I think the money might have been right. I think the maybe he didn't want this opponent, or maybe at the end of the day, we don't know. Maybe this wouldn't have been for anything. It would have just been Ugas and him for nothing, just for the right to fight somebody. It could have been an eliminator. Who knows? At the end of the day, I've heard a rumor that Keith is going to fight every single fighter that's plausible since he's come back from his injury, and the only fighter that he's fought is Mario Barrios.
Bruh. Mario Barrios.
Yes, sir.
The GOAT.
It went 12 rounds with Mario Barrios. I got hurt to the body. I was tender before I got touched. That's what he said. I was tender to the body tonight before I got touched.
Tender love.
The Elephant Man.
Yeah, bro. He shifted Barrios' face, broke his nose all the way up. But shit, that's it for me, man. Y'all got anything else on this one, man, before I close it out?
No, sir.
No, sir. I appreciate you as always. Hold it down, POP status.
POP, hold it down.
I'm legally blind.
Yeah, man. But shout out to
one more thing, actually, Mark. I'm sorry to cut you off.
So what, bro? You got one more thing?
Yeah. I asked you in the members only yesterday, but you were closing it out. How was New Orleans? I was gonna ask you, like, was it cool? You had a good time or what?
It's New Orleans, bro.
Oh yeah, I never been. That's why. It's like, so I'm like, I don't know what you mean by that. It's New Orleans.
New Orleans is different, bro.
It's not one of my favorite places, bro.
I got you.
I like Vegas. I like LA. Miami. New Orleans reminds me of Baltimore with a, you know what I'm saying, where how they got a lot of old rundown buildings, and it's like a lot of poverty there. The streets are terrible as fuck, you know. You know, a lot of like there's a lot of poverty there. And being on Bourbon Street, I learned a couple things about New Orleans too. First of all, they don't give a fuck. I mean, like it was, those kids was out there still playing them buckets at like 1 a.m. I'm like, yo, where is child services? Take these kids home. The kids out there beating the drum buckets.
They're probably hungry, Mark.
Nigga, go rob something then. Shit, go rob this pizza.
Can't relate personally, but you know, actually can relate for my family. You know, these kids out in Mexico working because they hungry. So maybe they hungry.
Yeah, man. It was like, but these kids are kids. Like they could be in danger.
No, I agree. That's how it is in Mexico. In a lot of places.
Kids look like about no older than like 7, 8 years old, bro. Hey, babies out there.
Yep. Same in Mexico. They fucking juggling, cleaning windshields. You know, you get what I'm saying? That's why I was asking. Like, maybe they hungry.
Yeah. Expensive as fuck for the boys. They overcharge you for everything, especially if you right near that strip. $50 a day to leave your car there for parking. Like, it was just.
Oh wow.
Yeah, $50. Right. The airport didn't even charge $50 a day to leave the car at the airport, but the damn hotel was $50 a day. I stayed at the DoubleTree.
Okay.
I
think Katrina fucked the city up, huh? Because I remember as a kid, I mean, New Orleans was like known as like a pretty good vacation spot.
You didn't go.
Well, no, but I mean, like you would see it on TV. They have the Mardi Gras, and then like jazz. I mean, like Treme and all that shit.
Yeah, but that's once a year. Now granted, that strip is going 24 hours, 7 days a week. That shit is going nonstop, right? But and it's pretty much just a long ass strip. But it's what you doing, bro?
Sorry about that. I'm just focused on something. I was breathing. I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Nigga looking at porn at the job.
You wilding. Hard body. You won't stop the madness.
I'm looking at that porn on that work computer. They're gonna trace it back to your ass.
If you don't hush your mouth.
Funny shit, man.
Hey, look, but yeah, man, a lot of it's a lot of poverty there. It's like, and when you see some of the shit that's there, you like the only place you can make money with this shit is in New Orleans. Like, you'll look at one of these old ran down buildings, but it's a bar and people just walking up and down the strip. You know what I'm saying? Like, anytime you really see what it looked like, you be like, damn, I ate here. You know what I'm saying? Supposed to be in this nice restaurant went to, spray paint all over it. It's right there by the hood. You know what I'm saying? I think it was called like Monroe's or Mallory, some shit like that. Yeah,
that
man.
sucks because that's unfortunate, man. Because it has a lot of history, that city in particular. You know, like especially like I want to go because like one of the famous presidents of Mexico, like he was in exile there. You know, so I've always wanted to go and check out, like, to see if they had any historical tours or whatever.
Yeah, they got a lot of historical tours. They had a swamp tour. My wife was like, "Oh, you want to go on a swamp tour?" She was like, they got alligators and She showed me a spider. I was like, we just ate alligator. You didn't want to look at the alligator on the plate. Like, I was saying, you want to see damn spiders? Nigga, I'm not going on no, not paying $35 per person to go on a tour to look at some damn spiders. Like, I'm straight, bro. I'm good on that. I'm good on the alligator tour. It was like, I just ate some alligator. You didn't even want to look at it on my plate. Like, fuck you, what you mean?
Yo, you were so stupid. Yo, you were so dumb.
Like, that nigga might smell his cousin on my breath or some shit. I can't be out there trying to
Yo,
alligator.
what is wrong with you,
Like,
man?
hey, that smell like me was
He might smell his cousin on my breath. I'm done with you, man. You never
How was
heard
Magic
of
City?
it.
Yeah.
How was Magic City?
Magic City in Atlanta, the strip club.
Oh no, that's in Atlanta, huh? I could have sworn there was. Yeah, I fucked that one up. Never mind. I was trying to make a joke.
Yeah, but I did try gumbo for the first time down there. Yeah, I ate some of that New Orleans gumbo.
Oh, ooh, sounds delicious.
Two
man.
words: overrated.
You think?
Nigga, overrated.
You must have ate it the wrong place, bro. You must have got it from the wrong. No, you get it from the right place. It's rated properly.
I have neighbors since a kid that's from Baton Rouge, bro, and I've had their gumbo, and so I would think from over there would be like even better.
I know what some stretched out shit tastes like, bro. I grew up in the projects, nigga. I know what some stretched out shit tastes like. They added that flour in that water, whipped up that flour and water. Don't stretch that damn gumbo out a couple more days, man. That's overrated.
He said they stretched the gumbo out with using used gumbo. You stupid. You went to the wrong place, bro.
Eric, the wrong place was New Orleans, nigga. Like the drink was watered down. Like the shit was.
He took the wrong.
I'm not going back, man. I'm not going back.
He said the wrong. He said the wrong place was New Orleans. Good
going back to
grief.
New Orleans unless I gotta go back. Like you having a fight there. Like I might go back. Like if reaching the program next time he fight at the crib, I might go to New Orleans for that shit. Or like, but I go. I gotta be there for somebody's birthdays. It got to be a reason I'm there for somebody else. Like, but like, hey man, I want to go to New Orleans this weekend, nigga.
Never heard of it.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah. Sounds like they're fucking up, though, man.
Rats down there. New Orleans rats are different, yo.
That's crazy.
Bro,
Nah, they in New York though, bro. You want to see?
They rolling blunts on Bourbon Street. Them big ass rats in New Orleans, bro. Like you're not usually you see the rats see you and they take off running.
Mm-hmm.
Man, these rats in New Orleans come and you start doing tricks and shit. They start stacking up on each other like cheerleaders doing a pyramid. Motherfucker rolling a blunt, start playing the drums. Poop, 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 poop.
They must be related to New York's.
Man.
Yeah, because I think Brim was the one, or maybe YB. Somebody told me that like New York rats will attack you.
Yeah, they come get the food right your hand. Like, give me that shit. They
crazy shit, bro.
I seen a New York rat the size of a cat before, bro.
Wow.
Yes, bro. And that's how the New Orleans rats are too. They motherfuckers look like armadillos or some shit. Like little chihuahuas running around there. Hey, look, then you don't see them no more. But you smell something good and delicious. Man, I can't believe I ate them alligator bites. It might have been rat bites, nigga. Congratulations to me, nigga. I don't ate some rat bites.
Oh man.
Why you gotta be so stupid? Why you gotta be so stupid? Which is why.
Hey, people eat rat. People eat rat. I don't know if in New Orleans, but people do eat rat in other places of the world.
New Orleans was the cookies at the DoubleTree, nigga. Them chocolate chip walnuts.
The best thing was the cookies.
They have the same over here in Cali at the DoubleTrees as well, Mark. So I know what you're talking about.
I'm done with you, man.
Nah, I ate at Willie's Fried Chicken. Willie's
the best thing was
Willie's Daiquiri Fried Chicken. I ate there too.
He said the best thing was the cookies.
At the DoubleTree, nigga. Them chocolate chip walnuts, them shit be warm too. Like Spence say, it's warm. You get fired.
Why are you so ignorant, man? Why are you
Mark's
so
gonna lose his
ignorant?
job at the tourism board in New Orleans, bro.
I love my fans and supporters out there from New Orleans, but man, I'm never doing a meet and greet at New Orleans.
You should have asked somebody where to go eat because you obviously went to the wrong place.
And I was eating everywhere, man. I was there for a little business, little pleasure. You know, I had a guide. We ate at
You said you had a guy. Whoa, pause.
I had a guide.
Oh, okay.
A guide. Man, what the hell is going on, bro? What are you talking about?
It sounds like you said I got a guy. Like I'm like, what?
You want me to make a pause so bad.
No, I don't want you to. I just thought I heard something different. I'm sorry.
Nah, son. You know what you heard, me.
Nah, I didn't. That's why I did what I did. I
You had a guy. Hold up, pal. Nah, nigga. I had a guy. I had a driver. I had a tour guide. Somebody who knew their way around. Somebody said wrong place, wrong type, Mark. The red tomato. Yeah, see, I didn't like that brown. I didn't like the one that looked like mud water. It was all brown, the brown with the brown and white. Yeah, I didn't like the brown. I should have got the one with the tomato base. What you say? Rocks with crab, shrimp, crab legs, clam, crawfish. I never ate crawfish in my life.
I think it's pronounced roux.
What I say?
Rocks.
I'm crazy. Okay, rocks. Tomato based rocks.
You didn't say it like I did, like with the emphasis on the X, but you kind of, yeah, it was something similar.
That sounds like a 5-star crackhead chef right there. Got some tomato based rocks for y'all niggas.
Oh man, that's some shit.
Smoke these. You're gonna be high and hungry.
I wish I had a shrimp po' boy right now, though. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, man, that shrimp po' boy is overrated.
You ate at the wrong places, bro.
You did too, right?
The wrong places, bro.
Now look, I had some boom boom shrimp. Now that shit was fire. I think I put a video up of that. That boom boom shrimp was good. But that little po' boy, man, niggas be putting too much salt on them shit. Place would be salty as that, bro. I even tried. I guess they do this like a roast beef po' boy. They need to stop calling it po' boys. Need just call it a sandwich, man. It's just
a roast beef po' boy. No, thank you.
Man, I never tried it, but that was one of the things they had there. It was a thing everybody was getting. It sounded, a soup sandwich, nigga. Like it's running as soggy as fuck. Nigga, I ended up eating the rest of. I ate like a couple. I ate like one bite.
Were the beignets good at least?
Huh?
Were the beignets good at least? The beignets? Do you know what that is?
Yeah. I don't fuck with those. I ate that the first time. I tried it the first time I went to the world. Overrated donuts, man.
I don't know. I like them.
Yo, I can't get over this. Your soup sandwich.
You're closer to over there than I am, Mark. So I haven't had it in a long time since my neighbors died. You know, so you know.
It's bread with powdered sugar. Overrated. Some fried
donuts are. That's what donuts are. Regular donuts are that.
Why am I still stuck on the fact you had a soup sandwich, though?
Biscuits, man. They fry some biscuits and put some powdered sugar on top.
All right.
Beignets. Over.
You should have went to the LSU football game.
Nah, that shit was lit though. This shit was lit for the people that was out there.
You like jambalaya, Mark? Do you like jambalaya? Is that overrated?
Now that's fire. Now I fuck with the jambalaya.
All right.
I ain't no liar. I fuck with the jambalaya. I like that.
Okay, yeah, you got to start rhyming now, man. Cut it out.
That's fire. The jambalaya is fire. But you can go to some of these places and it's gonna be mushy, overcooked, overpriced, which makes it overrated, baby.
All right, that makes sense.
Can't fuck with it, man. I'm good on New Orleans, man. Shout out to everybody from New Orleans, though, man.
You throw shade and talk about some shout outs.
Shout out to the Charlos.
You sound like Piper Boy Williams right now.
But shout out to you, man.
This man said I had a soup sandwich, though. I'm still stuck on that. I just can't get over this.
Never heard it before. Fucked up like a soup sandwich. That's what they used to say. When I was in the army, they used to say that when you were out of uniform. But yeah, man. But that shit was like, bro. I asked the lady too. I said, so is it soggy and shit? Like, I said, I don't want no soggy ass sandwich. Like, it's weird. She was like, no, you good. She said that, yeah, they drained it out. Like, yeah, it's already been drained out. Like, it's just the meat. And I was like, all right, cool. Man, they put that. I was like, y'all put some cheese on it for me? I was like, I'm up here, don't try to make this shit a Philly in my mind.
Trying to customize the po' boy and shit.
Yeah, I don't try to customize shit. Don't make this shit a Philly cheesesteak in my mind. I took one bite of the sandwich and everything slid out the side off the back of the sandwich. So now I'm eating the sandwich with a damn fork. I was like, well, shit, bitch, bring me some rice or some shit then. Damn. Mm-mm. So now I got so now I'm eating roast beef with lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, and onions on a fork, man. I was like, never again. Overrated.
You're voicing your displeasure for real right now.
Chocolate chip walnuts, best thing in New Orleans, man. Stay at the DoubleTree, man. Eat cookies for the weekend. You'll survive. Take your ass back home. Get some pizza.
Give you the same ones in Cali. That's what I was saying, bro. They are good.
You know what? The pizza, though, I did get some pizza from a little spot. I did get some pizza while I was down there.
They're not known for pizza, bro.
How was it?
That shit was good. That shit was good.
There it is.
But the price, though, for 2 slices of pizza, I think I paid like $24.
That's a lot of fucking money.
It might be like $12.
$24 for 2 slices of pizza.
No, 24. It might have been like $12 a slice.
Wow, that is expensive.
Like no. My slice was like $10. I think my wife's slice was like $8. So yeah, $18 for 2 slices of pizza.
Yeah, that's a whole pizza over here in California, man.
No drink, no fries, no nothing.
That's meat lovers.
Baby. Nah, man. All right. Man, fuck out of here, man. My wife and I both agreed, man. Hey, look.
That's it for Louisiana on Mark's show.
And the weed was trash. Overrated.
Keep digging that hole, bro. Keep digging that hole.
His displeasure is real right now.
I'm being nice. This is nice.
You went to the wrong places.
Really? Are you?
Bro, when y'all hear me on the show, man, y'all getting my best, man. This is the nicest I get. So if this is rough in any kind of way, in any kind of capacity, when I'm talking to y'all, it's all downhill from here. This is the nicest I can get. I'm doing my best. Like, respect.
I just imagine Mark like Caleb Plant over a fucking Durrell and shit. That's how nice you're being.
Slap. Oh, I thought you meant Caleb Plant with Jermall. I'm slapping.
No, with you know he buried him, you know, with the fake shovel.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's how I feel about my trips to New Orleans. Just bury them shit.
Jeez.
Never going.
All right.
Wow.
Unless I gotta go, man.
This man said, man, hated it.
Hated it. Yeah, man.
No more FFA for Mark, bro. He's done.
This man said, yo, you was going in on New Orleans right now, bro.
The people, though. The people are cool. But the prices, the food, the just looking at the raggedy ass buildings, the old ass buildings, man, look like, man, you ever seen a Western? How you see like you go to Miss Susie? You know how they had that little let me find a Western downtown.
Like a tumbleweed coming through it?
Shit like that, bro. Downtown Wild West. It looked like Wild.
Hey, Mark, listen to this, and this is the truth. Passion for Beauty said the best food in New Orleans, unfortunately, is not on Bourbon Street or Canal Street.
Say her mama house or something like that. But it's probably at somebody's house. Bro, this is what New Orleans look. Bro, this is exactly what New Orleans type shit look like, bro. It's shit that looks just like this, and I ain't even exaggerating. Hold on, let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. It's shit in New Orleans that's outdated like this, bro. This shit look like this shit is on the I'm gonna take my horse to the Old Town Road side of the game type shit. Yeah, there you go. This what it looked like. It looked like shit like this. The street ain't even that wide. The street ain't even as wide as that.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
And it stank, nigga. Man, I remember, I wanted to use this ATM, man, but it was this homeless dude with one leg, like leaning up against the ATM. And I was like, he's standing there, blocking there all the good, hard-working people that want to get some money out the ATM. He's right there just ready to ask for it. I hated that. So I fuck with the homeless man. My wife said I shouldn't have did this, but fuck it. Somebody eventually gave that dude some food, right? So now I go use the ATM, finally. I was like, damn, I did need to use the ATM. We sitting there eating some chicken out of Willie's Chicken and Daiquiris type place. Right. That's some ghetto shit, right? I felt offended. Why I gotta be Willie's Chicken? Just sounded racist. I don't know. But it was good as hell. You know what I'm saying? So the homeless man gets, he's leaning against the little ATM shit. The guy with one leg got it, and it looks disgusting too. Like it's like amputee, but it's like you can tell he got gangrene sitting in. Like he ain't got a lot of time left.
Ouch.
I was like, hey, bro, you mind scooting over a little bit? He's like, oh yeah. So he eating his food. Somebody brought him some food, dropped him off a plate. I don't know if they brought him some food or gave him their leftovers, but it looked like they brought him a plate. Like the nigga was eating better than me. You know what I'm saying? I was eating Willie's chicken. He had some ribs, like mac and cheese. Like this nigga had sides and cornbread. And I get my money out. He said, he was like, can you spare a couple dollars? I was like, I was about to give you a dub to get you something to eat, but I see you already got that covered, man. I see you already got something to eat, so I was gonna give you 20, but shit, man, you look like you got a nice plate right there. And I walked off. My wife was like, "Why did you do that? You shouldn't have did that. Go give him the money."
You did the right thing, Mark.
I was like, nah. I was like, I don't want to be an enabler. I don't want to promote bad behavior. He got to get away from this ATM. Get away from.
And nobody gave him that food, Mark. He paid for it. I guarantee it.
Nah, I saw somebody bring that plate over to him.
Oh, okay.
Might just vote. Because like I said, I was stalking and waiting for him to leave or lean the other way so I could use the ATM. I'm joking, man. I didn't do that to the dude. I know somebody probably like, Mark, you an asshole. No, I didn't do that to him.
I would have done it.
I just thought it was gonna be funnier out loud, but it wasn't. It sounded heartless.
It wasn't heartless, man. In my experience, or at least the panhandlers over here in California, they got more money than me, bro. I learned that lesson early.
Yo, what? What if you try to give the homeless person some food and like now I will tell you this. While we were sitting there at Willie's Chicken, it was a dude that walked by and said, "Excuse me, man, can y'all spare some chicken?" I was like, spare some like who does that? I heard her ask, can we spare some change? That nigga want a wing or a thigh or a breast or that nigga want a whole piece of chicken. I was like, why you ask? I'm thinking like, why is he asking me? Turn around, ask the manager of the restaurant, can they spare the chicken? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see, I would have gave him some food, but I've had in my experience, I've had like a homeless person reject food from me.
Oh yeah, because you look hungry. You're like, nigga, you look worse than me.
No, he wanted money. He's like, nah, I don't want no food.
No, he's thinking like, no, he's saying he wanted money so he can go spend it on whatever he wanted to spend it on to get lit.
Exactly. I thought he was hungry, so I was like, I'll buy you some food. And then at one point,
he was
like
hungry.
only 2 times this ever happened. I actually had some food. I'm like, you could have my food. He's like, nah, I'm good.
Hold on, he can have your food. He don't want to eat your food. Like you had already ate off of it.
No. Like I barely sat down. You know, he was just asking for some change because like he got me coming from the register because he knew I had money. So I'm like, nah, I ain't got nothing to give you, bro. But you can have my food. I told him because at the end of the day, my mom always taught me never deny anybody food. But he turned me down.
Nigga, I'm about to send you an Instacart grocery list, nigga.
I'm just saying. I mean, if somebody like somebody less fortunate, Mark, is what I'm saying. You know,
I'm less fortunate, nigga. I need some cereal right now.
Hey, check it out. No. Let him send you the
He's probably making all kinds of money.
No, let him send you the Instacart request, right? And then you just order from everywhere in New Orleans, so Canal and Bourbon Street to his house.
I'm gonna be like that homeless man. I'm gonna refuse that order. Like, nah.
Oh, you got me weak tonight. You was so dumb, Mark. You was dumb.
Look, it was a lady though sitting in Willie. She gave him her chicken box. She just handed it to him.
That was nice of her. Excuse me.
Nigga, that was strong arm robbery. That's strong arm robbery.
Man.
Like he walked up.
That was soft arm robbery. Soft arm.
Man, he went up to that lady. Was like, "Excuse me, ma'am, you got some chicken? Can you spare some chicken?" And I was sitting there like, she gonna say no. She was like, she said something to him, and he said, "I don't give a fuck." She must have said I already ate off of it. He was like, shit, I don't give a fuck. I mean, you got something left right there. Like, nigga, you can't be over me while I'm eating, telling me I still got some meat left on the bone and all that. I'll take care of that for you. Nigga, you are not the family dog. You don't get the fuck away from my and you smell pissy too. Get away from my food.
I got 4 words for you, Mark. La hambre es canija. Translated, hunger is a motherfucker. So I would never deny somebody that's hungry food.
What if you still eating though? Like they can come up to you while you eating and say, "Man, let me get the rest of that."
Yes.
But the restaurant is literally right there. Ask the manager of the restaurant.
And I understand where you're coming from, Mark. I just
They got
can't
all
deny
the-
anybody food, bro. I just can't deny anybody food.
But you can point them to the right direction, though, right? Like, hey, look, just turn around. Look over.
If I had no food to give them, yes, I would do that.
You better than me, man.
Hey, man,
God bless
my parents like went through poverty, like actual poverty, like going like fucking like weeks without eating. So like, you know, I never did it, but I understand it.
Yeah. You taking all the fun out of this, Pure. Never mind.
I know, my bad. I just wanted to, like, you know, just in case somebody's listening, it's like, you know, like, yeah, you know, I just think that's nice. That's a nice thing to do. But my bad.
Took all the fun off the jokes now, man.
My bad. Mark.
No. But look, what? But I told my wife, I said, wouldn't it have been funny, like, if she gave him the chicken, he walked like 3 feet and was like, what? I don't eat no damn dark meat, and threw the plate down.
Yeah, that would have been funny, but and I bet it's happened before somewhere in the world.
Can you be a homeless person and be like, I don't eat pork? Like somebody be like, hey man, let me give you something right here. I got this right here. Nah, I don't eat pork. Can you be homeless and hungry and talk about what you do and don't eat? Like, nah, man, I don't. I'm a vegetarian.
I'm gonna say no because you're being picky. How hungry are you?
Can you be like, nah, I'm gluten free, man? Nah, is that gluten free?
Yeah, I call cat, bro.
Yo, you can't be out there talking about gluten free, talking about I'm hungry and homeless, huh?
Yeah, it's like
all right.
Sounds like you need to change your dietary restriction, bro, because you ain't gonna eat.
Yo, man, the best line I ever heard Lil Wayne. Well, not the best line, but one of the illest lines Lil Wayne said. He said, "Say they want to eat because they ain't ate nothing. Then they want to leave when you say you out of mustard." Like, bars. All right. That's it, man. That's it for me, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this one, man. I hope y'all was entertained. Hopefully y'all got some information, got some good boxing talking, and got a lot of laughs in. Shit, what else? What we got coming up this week other than Canelo and Charlo? Who else fighting this week?
Let's see. I think there's another fight I'm just forgetting. Or maybe that is the only one. I don't remember.
Man, I never dropped my Joe Joyce interview. I'm gonna drop it now. Then he don't got knocked out.
Yeah.
You know, I call him the Chinese Ken Norton right now.
Oh yeah, what you think about that fight, Mark? I haven't asked you since it happened.
Shit, was it a fight? Then
Yes,
he knocked him out in the third round. Like,
yeah, called it too. I picked the third round. I picked 1, 2 through 3.
Really? You called it early?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, because in the first fight he got rocked. Excuse me, he got rocked in the second fight. You know, he just didn't go down. And then the difference between the first fight and this fight is that after he got up and he got his legs back, he's just started throwing a lot of kind of like shoe shine punches, Joe Joyce's, and it kind of just delayed the inevitable because then his eyes swelled up, and he stopped the fight. But in this particular fight, he got hurt again in the second. But he didn't throw those throwaway punches and prolong the fight. Like he was just like kind of like he did. I don't know. He just didn't come to win, in my opinion.
Man, he came to do what he did. That boy went to sleep. Didn't he fall like? How you fall in a napping position now? Like
it happens. It happens.
Like, do you train for that? Because I've only seen it happen a couple times. I think Charlo. What's that dude Charlo fought from Texas? Damn, man, I got Charles
Hadley.
Charles Hadley.
Mm-hmm.
When he knocked Hadley out that last time, Hadley fell into a sleep position too.
Chavez versus Costa Zoo, Tim's dad. He felt like that in the second fight of the first.
Sleep position, yeah, man. Like, damn, how you practice that shit in the gym? Like,
that's when you're thoroughly dominated. That means like you literally you fell like you were knocked out. Like, you know, that's just like you didn't even break your fall. Like, my dad taught me those are like the worst. Like son, if you ever see somebody fall like that.
Yeah, face first, it's a wrap.
Mm-hmm. Face first, yep, it's a wrap.
Yeah, face first, it's a wrap. Usually, if they fall hitting their head on the canvas too, like their head snap back like that, they usually be out too. Somebody said, only $84. He said, no, $84 for the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view is $84. He said they thirsty to sell this undisputed. match. He said his third still is undisputed match. They still have major seats that they haven't sold yet. Yeah, I didn't know
resale though. They're all resale though. I think it's a narrative.
Right. Yeah, those definitely resales, and they're gonna drop by the end of the week. They'll drop down some more. But that's it for me, man. Final thoughts, anybody?
Thank you for having me, Mark.
Thank you for having us, man. You're hilarious. You stupid. You went to the wrong places in New Orleans, and shout out to your soup sandwich.
Man, I was all over New Orleans. The wrong place was New Orleans, nigga. The airport was the wrong place. Little ass airport, man.
Gotta blame Mark Nash, bro. Like, why would you go on a vacation to a place that you know is like that?
I was a little business. I had business there.
Okay. You did say that the other day. I'm sorry.
Little business, little pleasure, man. I had one day of work, well, a couple hours, but other than that, I was just there chilling. Flew in, made a couple bucks, flew back out. I landed Friday. I left Sunday morning. Yeah.
Cool.
In and out. But all right, man. I'll talk to y'all on the next one.
Indeed.
Cool.
Blessings, bro.
Peace.
All right, Brim. Later.
All right. All right, man. It's been another great episode of Breaking Beats, where we break down business, entertainment, art, technology, sports, and anything else you and I feel like talking about. It's a hip hop political sports show with a comedy twist. We like to let the jokes fly. You know why? Life is serious enough. Life is getting real serious in the super middleweight division. That's 168 pounds for the people who don't know. And yeah, man, they got a fight this weekend. Canelo versus Charlo for undisputed. These are Canelo's belts. And don't be confused by this poster. Canelo is not the taller, bigger guy in this ring right here. They got Canelo like Charlo's what, 6 feet, 6'1"? They got Canelo looking like he was 6'1.5" in this picture, bro. This is crazy. Canelo's 5'8". The guy he's fighting to your right, Jermell Charlo, is 6 feet or 6'1". Yeah, but I guess that's the marketing right there. That's the advertising. But hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you again for allowing me the opportunity to entertain you all this evening. Hopefully you were entertained. And other than that, man, that's it. This week we will be doing a members only giveaway. I'm going to be doing my members only giveaway for the people who are the members. So thank you so much for supporting the show. Love y'all. Hope you love yourself. If not, guess what? God loves you. So does Mark Nash in the neighborhood here, Breaking Beats. Remember, dreams require sleep. Goals require effort. Go out there and get your goals. Hey, look, man, sometimes we're going to agree. Sometimes we're going to disagree. But one thing's for certain, two things for sure, homeboy. Never forget this.
I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just because you don't like the way another nigga talk.
And I mean, he said they have no stars, new star being born. Yeah, Jesus Ramos is fire. I love Jesus Ramos. But I don't do the black and white thing, bro, and the black versus Mexican boxing. Boxing is boxing. You need black guys, you need Mexican guys, you need the Europeans, the Asians. Boxing is boxing. It's a global sport. Boxing ain't just in Mexico. Boxing isn't just in America. It's a global sport, man. World champion, right? So, Emily, what's that? Whitson? Stop that racist shit, man. Get the fuck up out of here with that. It's your man Martin Nash, Breaking Beats. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
This that squad side.